covering the Lindsay Clancy trial out of Massachusetts.
Otherwise, I can't guarantee what might
Accused
happen.
of killing her 3 children. Let me say, I feel sorry for this white woman. I have to take the side of the white
What
woman.
did you say?
She had some kind of mental problem, and I hope that she just gets a couple years. It's not that big of a deal, but this is a huge trial. Yes, imagine.
It's nothing. I'll be careful.
I bought some fruit. Here.
You bring her back. I'm just getting her around.
Since Miss Lilith is here now, I won't disturb you any further. Thank you. Why are you rubbing your back? You've never done that for me. You're not following me, are you?
You're overthinking it.
You're both like this. How could I not think too much? Bye, Jim. I gave you my most precious birthright. I gave it all to you. You're not going to abandon me.
Don't worry. There's nothing between Yun Xianshen and me right now. Never will be. Once the divorce cooling off period is over, I'll end things with her, then I can be responsible for you.
Really? Lately, I keep feeling nauseous.
Don't worry.
Isn't
Bring
that
check
your
up results
fiancé?
show. Baby is fine. You're just overworked. You need to take better care of yourself. You need to be more careful. Even now. You don't think about yourself. You should think about the baby in your belly.
Okay, I understand. You keep nagging like this. I won't come to you anymore.
That's not.
Who's with you? He's actually pregnant. Fine. He just married Beijing less than half a month ago.
Call in, sir. Call in, sir.
How could she possibly
Tell
be
us.
pregnant?
Hold on a second. Tell me what area code you're calling in from. You have my email address. Go ahead. You were saying.
Hello? Find a way to take the baby in Xianxian's belly and get a paternity test for pregnancy.
This one. Just before it's ready. Take a look.
The result is obvious. There's no need to worry. The mind has been transferred to you. You can go.
This way.
The DNA test results are already out. Once Jason sees this report, and find out your child.
Stay right there. Stay right there. Blade, thank you for tapping in. Yes, Blade. The Native Americans gave it up sweet. They sold the whole island of Manhattan for $24. Well, what would be equivalent to $24? Probably some goddamn some magic rocks, type of dust, and a couple of mirrors. Okay, hold on a second. Is that my guy Rob Lowe tapping in area code 201? Rob Lowe?
And have a paternity test done.
Peace.
I just called
There's something about this
Okay.
young I need to tell you.
Let me put you back on hold. I'll put you back.
What do you want?
If you want the Tianlong Bay development,
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins, and today we have a great show. Give me a second. I always have a window open. I just don't got a window open right now. Give me a second. Why does foundational triggers so many people? That question, I got that. I got this topic from Tariq Nasheed. And I want to know why does it trigger so many people? Like why do people care that why do people worry about us having our own things, our own stuff, our own problems? This is a question that I had to ask because sometimes it be the people that we consider brothers, and this is why I always tell people, please don't call me a brother, it offends me. Give me 1 second. I swear I had this window open for the chat to see what's going on. What's going on, Fresh Always? Mm, okay, cool. Now I got it open. Yeah, these type of questions, these type of topics, I want to take serious. This is why lately I have been putting people in timeout because we should be answering these questions because they cannot tether off of flat blackness or generic black. Yes, I agree with you, baby. Um, it comes to a point where and this is just me. I personally I hate when people talk for me. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it. Some people get mad that I do it. I personally I love the word foundation. It works for me. And when I say native, I think people get it fucked up. When I say native, we are our own tribe. We're not red natives and stuff. We lived amongst the red natives, the Serbians, but we were our own tribe. We were our own people. Did we come together? Yeah, we intermarried with each other. But we all didn't come off a slave ship. And I think even the red natives are getting having a problem with that too because censorship is a weapon used by the weak when they know they cannot they can't defeat their position. Oh, okay. Um, I'll say this, Saint Michael's. I agree with that to a certain extent. And I'm gonna say that that's a good statement. Censorship is a weapon. Let me ask you a question, Saint Michael's. I'm gonna give you an example. Do you think whiteness is being weaponized or being desensitized in America? Do you think people are tethering on to whiteness? You 100% came off a slave ship from Africa. But the thing about that, St. Michael's, it's. I'm gonna say this, St. Michael's. That's hard to prove because there was less than 300,000. I always say 400,000, less than 400,000, but people even say less than 300,000. You know, but 300,000 Africans would not make 50 million Black Americans in the matter of 200 matter of 50 million. I mean, less than 300,000 Black people wouldn't make 50 million Black Americans now in a matter of 200 years, not even 400 years. So that's a stretch. When you could prove that, yes. Jews like to be white when it's convenient. Hmm. So, say, Michaels, when you say that, and when I talk about flat blackness and people trying to make Black Americans a generic African, and we saying that we add mixtures, why don't you agree, or do you just come here to troll? And if you come here to troll, I understand now. I'm just asking that question. I, in my opinion. Oh, okay, okay. I am okay. Thank you, baby. I didn't even know I am old meant. Thank you. Like, what's that? In my opinion, Hispanic Latinos trying to tell their own whiteness, and the whites reject them. Yes, I agree with that too, baby. Also too, you know who else rejects the Latinos? The natives. The natives reject the Latinos. So yeah, that, and I'm gonna say this. This puts the Latino community in a very bad position. Now the real question is um why don't the natives claim the Latinos? Why don't they validate? I have never heard I mean, Indian, a red native Indian say that, oh, yo, you know what? They're a part of my people. You know, they act like, they act hold on, they act like Africans could not build ships and migrate to America. There is evidence that Africans came to America in the 1500s and trade with Indians. Yep, you're right, baby. I agree with you. Some of the Africans stayed in the U.S. Yes, Africans and Moors. And Moors. Don't forget the Moors had the technology. A lot of this technology that was built um, were from the Moors. You know, like pyramids, like underground pyramids and shit like that. That came from the Moors. Facts. The Mexicans tried to claim Native Americans, and the natives said no. Yeah, I agree with that, baby. And it's not like, oh, to shit on Latinos about that, but I just never heard a Latino. I mean, a red native say that. Yeah, these indigenous people are our people too. The word foundation doesn't triggers anything. What gets on people's nerves is the FBA code. Tethering off the achievements and history of African Americans. Let me ask you a question, Black Snow Bunny King. They are annoyed at the Let me ask you a question. I will say this, baby. I'll give you a little pushback. The Moors never claimed African. They delineated from Africans. You know, they delineated from Africans. The Moors, yes, they delineated from Africans. That's why they had a whole different culture from Africa. That's why when you, let me ask you a question, baby. Do you wonder if the Moors built Europe, why haven't African? Why haven't the continent of Africa have never been built? Only time Africa has been built is when they had the Moors. You know, and I'm talking about Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa, his inventors were Moors. You know, um, but they never considered themselves African. You know, so I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback, and it's not even a pushback. It's just a question. Like, hold on, where are these people from, and why didn't they claim that they were African? You know, yeah, they claimed that they were something else. Because I don't think people know a lot of these Moors. Some of the structures that they did follow were all right. Let me rewind and say this. A lot when you go deep into Moorish history, you start to see that they did follow the Hebrew Israelites. You know, they start to figure Africa is a continent. Egypt, Somalia is in Africa. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Like for example, let me ask you a question. This is a funny example. Um, Let me ask you a question, Black Snow Bunny King. And baby, you might laugh at me. If two white people move to Puerto Rico and they have a baby on Puerto Rico, is their baby Puerto Rican? Two white Americans have a baby in Puerto Rico. They move to Puerto Rico. They have a baby in Puerto Rico. Is that baby Puerto Rican? Snow Bunny, white Black Snow Bunny King. I'm asking you a question. If two white Americans move to Puerto Rico, have a baby in Puerto Rico, is that white baby Puerto Rican? Yeah, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. Yeah, but again, but would it make the again, baby? Would it make the baby Puerto Rican? That's the question I'm asking. Would it make the baby Puerto Rican? Say, Snow Bunny King, Black Snow Bunny King. I'm agreeing with you. I remember what I said. I said when anybody had anybody with more, that was a Moor in their group, because were the inventors. They were the builders. They were the ones that created a lot of this stuff in Africa, Europe, North America, South America. They were the ones that created most of that stuff. Black Snow Bunny King. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you, but they didn't consider themselves African. That's what I'm explaining to you. They were their whole different. And I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that they didn't have African blood. I'm saying that they became something different culturally, maybe. No, they are not Puerto Rican. Why not? That's the thing, baby. Baby, why not? Why not? Why can't they be Puerto Rican? I'm asking the question for a reason, because I know Snow Bunny King is not going to answer that question. He's going to jump over the question. You know, And I know what most people say. Most people say, "Oh yeah, because their grandmama ain't from Puerto Rico, their grandmamas ain't from Puerto Rico. They have no culture in Puerto Rico." and, and I say that for a reason because when we say Black Americans, because their parents are Caucasian. But let me ask you a question: the people who colonized Puerto Rico weren't they white? Weren't they white? The people who colonized Puerto Rico. Christopher Columbus. And it seems like I'm trolling, but I'm not really trolling. I'm asking the question where it's the question that I'm really asking is with Black Americans, we are an admixture of multiple things. This is why I always tell St. Michael's when St. Michael's argue with me, I was like, St. Michael's, I'm not telling you you're right or wrong. When you talk about Black Americans are mixtures of people, you know, are some mixes a mixture of white people? Yeah, they could be, but I'm not saying that, I'm not saying Black Americans are not only African. Do they have African in their DNA? Yeah, because at the end of the day, don't forget everybody comes from Africa. You know, and I always tell people all the time, be careful with the 23andMe because a entertain. That's only for entertainment purposes. So it's for entertainment. It's not. Why you think niggas is like niggas is swapping their dog and their dog is half Nigerian and don't be surprised if the fucking dog's eating Jollof sooner or later because you know. But give me a second, everybody. I'll be right back. I just went because my kids was a jump. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Turn this shit off. Yeah, I just had to go check on my kids. My son is jumping everywhere. But yeah, let me read what Bebe said. I met a man with two white Caucasian parents from America. He was born with he was born and raised in Guadalupe, I think. I don't know what that is. He's white with blonde hair and blue eyes, but say he's Yeah, facts, facts, baby. They do that, baby. I'm not gonna. This is the thing, baby. The reason why I asked that question because people get to identify who they want to be, and it's fine. But when Black Americans say like, "Yo, you know what? We're foundational Black Americans because we are the foundation of this country," there's an outrage. It has always been like this for generations, maybe even centuries. It has always been like that. When Black America, it's so. But this is. Let me ask you. This is what I'm gonna say. Black Americans has been reclassified multiple times. We're the only people that had to be reclassified because every time we knew who we were more powerful than ever. When people were finding out that, okay, you know what? A lot of us didn't come from off no fucking slave ship. Where did we come from? You know? And we ask these questions and we have these people talk about, yo, you black, you black, you black. I mean, you African, you African, you African. A lot of people didn't say, yeah, I have African DNA, but I'm a whole new admixture. You know, I have indigenous. Let me tell you something. I think people got fucked up when they just heard indigenous. Once people heard indigenous, I mean Indian, not even indigenous, Indian. When people say, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," I have Native American in my family. This is when people were mad. We're not saying that we're the red natives. We're saying that we were indigenous to this land already. We were already on here. Like, let me ask y'all a question. Why don't these $5 Indians people? Why don't these $5 Indians catch this type of slack like Black Americans catch them? A white man could walk around, running around here with two ponytails in his hair, talking about that they're fucking native to this fucking land because their parents probably like 200, 300 years ago signed up, but um identity of being a native. You know, that's saying something. And everybody, I'm gonna talk for another 10, 15 minutes. Then we're gonna jump into the show. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. Um, Definitely it helps the platform. This isn't a trending topic right now, so hit the like, and also hit the share button. Share from 5 different platforms to 5 different people, or 2 different people to 3 different platforms, or three people and 2 different platforms. So just mix it up if you want to. Just equal it to 5 because 5 is my favorite number. And also donate to the live chat. If you want to super chat, you can super chat. And also we have a GoFundMe, a thing that I'm doing, and also I have a Cash App. I'll throw the Cash App link in my live chat right now. And when you do donate to it, thank you. I do appreciate it. It does help it helps the platform. So yeah, definitely. Like I said, I spent a whole bunch of money on stuff, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. But most of this money goes back to everything. 5 is my favorite number. So shout out to you, baby. Yeah. Okay, you want to hear something crazy? My date of birth is 5/8/85. 5/8/85. That's my date of birth. May 8th, 1985. Yeah. Fives and eights. But yeah, yeah, it's like, again, everybody, with this platform, give me a second. I'll read everything. Uh I'm gonna start reading some of this stuff. Let me go back up. Give me a second, Black Snow Bunny King. I'm gonna read some of your stuff. Let me go back up and see what's going on. Read that. I'm FBA because I can trace my lineage to America 200 years. America turned 250 on July 4th, 2026. There were Black Seminoles and Creek indigenous people in Florida in the 1600s. The Florida Seminoles won 8 out of 12 battles when the colonizers came. The Seminoles were black. Yeah, I agree with you, baby. I'm gonna even add on more. Why do you think everybody down south? Why do you think the majority of Black Americans are down south? That most of them never left. Is most of them didn't really leave. Did some go for better opportunity for jobs and stuff? Yes. Detroit, Boston, New York, California, Texas was a big part of Black people. What else? Ohio. Like, we travel all around the world, but at the end of the day, we always come back down south. What, for family reunions, for just everything. You know, all this stuff isn't new that we do. You know, we stay in this country so we don't have to like basically learn anything else. You know, so you're right about that, baby. Let me keep on going. Yeah, five is my favorite. Not LOFAO. Bronze think he's sitting bull. I'm not getting what you're trying to say. LMFAO Bronze think he's sitting bull. Laugh my. Is that some like Jamaican shit that you're saying? I don't know. I know so much. I know so little about like Jamaican lingo. I think Jamaican lingo's kind of dope. It's like pigeon, you know. It's like Nigerian pigeon, but yeah, and Irish, you know. But yeah, let's see, black black Seminole and Creek adopted the identity of the slave masters. That's how they became black Seminoles. No, I'm gonna say what your buddy used to say all the time. Black Snow Bunny King, you got to do research before you start talking, man. What you're saying is not true. We have did. Don't forget, Black Snow Bunny King. We have done an episode on that topic, the Black Seminoles. Yes, we have done a topic on that. Um, so yeah, cause look up a person named John Horse, Black Snow Bunny King. Look him up. You know, that was a black man that was never a slave. You know, look him up because the land in the South was fertile and they got fit. They could fish. Yeah, to this day, Black Americans still like to fish. Like the old folks and stuff. My Grammy liked to fish. My Uncle Lee before he passed away liked to fish. My Uncle Clarence on my mama's father's side, Uncle Clarence, he likes to fish in Alabama. You know, so yeah, I do agree with that, baby. But yeah, you gotta do research on that Snow Bunny King. I don't want you going around saying that and people talk shit about you. I wouldn't. I'm not that type of person. I will tell you, yeah, you got to do research on that. So yeah. But let's get into it. All modern humans have African DNA. That does not make all humans African. Facts. You are right. Bronze asked why are so many blacks down so this stupid nigga thinks it's because he isn't. No, it's just that's where we were. All of us stayed down south. You know, you sound stupid when you try to tell me what I think. You know, it's like you gotta be totally honest. Blacks nobody care. I'm not saying niggas is all red natives. I'm saying that black Americans had their own tribes there. You know, niggas had their own tribes. Black Snow Bunny King. You know, yeah, not everybody is a red native. I personally, I try to push back on saying indigenous. I would like to say native, um, because indigenous is a little bit more complex. Are you saying in Cherokees didn't hold black slaves? No, there was natives. There was red natives that held slaves. Yes, I will agree with that. Black Snow Bunny King. This is why I'm gonna say this. This is why a lot of natives is pushing back on that reparations too, because you know what? They were gonna have to pay that as well. They were a part of the slave trade. I mean, they were a part of the slavery in the South. We got to be honest about it. You know, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. But all that it was it the Cherokees and stuff like that. Some of them were a part of that slave trade. You know, but also blacks nobody can. You also got to understand a lot of these people were reclassified too before this. You know, people were enslaving others. You know, I will tell you that, and I will push back on that. And the reason why I have to push back on it because I can't. Would you do a lot, Black Snowbody King, and it's all right. You could keep on doing that. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, that are you an asshole? But you do stuff out of bad faith. You know, like you'll say, like I'll give you an example. I can be talking about chips, and I could be like, oh yeah, I can be like, yeah, a lot of chips is good, but then you'll be like, oh yeah, but Rochelle, you told me that you don't like Fritos. And I'll be like, yo, I did say I don't. I did say most chips are good, but I didn't tell you what chips are good. Like you'll tell the truth, but you won't tell the whole truth. You'll leave little things out of your truth just to make yourself seem more right than you are. You know, that's what you do, Snow Bunny King. Native Americans captured and procreated with the yeah, that's true too, baby. That was true. You know, but yeah, I'll say this: a lot of these natives is gonna get hit with reparations too. You know, they're gonna have to. You know, because they participated, just like the African. Y'all gotta understand too. Give me a second. Shout out to Baby. Thanks for the cash app, Mama. Thank you, Mama. But yeah, definitely, it's like a lot of people's gonna get hit with reparations when it comes to Black Americans, and I think a lot of these people are trying to hide the history of it. This is why this delineation and the word foundation, it's a motherfucker. You know, it's a conversation a lot of people don't want to talk about, and the reason why they don't want to talk about it because at the end of the day, their ancestors were a participator. They participated in it. And I'm gonna say this: Snow Bunny King, when Black Americans do something for themselves, it's not really just for themselves. We're giving your country the blueprint of being a great country. We're giving you the blueprint of being a great country where you don't have to, you know what? We're giving you the blueprint. So if you really want to go back into Jamaica and have all your Jamaican culture and all this other stuff and people pay what they owe you, nigga, we gave you the blueprint and you'll get it done faster than we got it done faster. Like real talk. Like Black Snow Bunny King. If you want to be, yo, if you really wanted your country to be really this great, I'm talking about great. Have millionaires in your country. Have your country being a money running country. You can do it, but at the end of the day, you have to follow behind Black Americans. Black Americans have been doing this for generations. We have been doing this. You know, all you have to, you got a better chance getting reparations from the tribes that held you in slavery than getting reparations from the U.S. government. I'll say this, Black Snow Bunny King, you're wrong, but the details that you are saying is correct. Black Americans is fighting the U.S. government. A lot of these people thinking, and thank you, Black Snow Bunny, on that. A lot of these, a lot of these immigrants thinking that we're trying to take white people's money. No, we're basically trying to, we're trying to get our reparations from the U.S. government. You know, that's where I could say that you know what you are right on, and it's just the details. But what you're saying is wrong. You know, my DNA shows a 3% Yuba Peninsula ancestry, which is native to America. I have 80% African ancestries, 30%, 20% European and native, but I am foundational Black American. Yeah, but also too, baby, I don't know if you did genealogy. I would tell you to do the genealogy before you do the 23andMe because 23andMe is just for entertainment purposes. It's just a, oh, let me see, yada yada yada, blase blah. It's not really, it's not a fact. It's not. It's just to have fun with. I will say that, but I will also agree with you. If it's genealogy, yeah, definitely, I could see that. And also too, a lot of these people wouldn't know what type of tribe they are because, yeah, I did genealogy and 23andMe. Yeah, genealogy is more accurate. I will say that genealogy. I want to do a genealogy myself. Yeah, I want to do a genealogy myself. That's just me. What blueprint? Bronze. So the blueprint, when I'm talking about, you see how far we got in America with the reparations, and it's like everybody's talking about it. Everybody's triggered about reparations. Everybody's trying to sabotage it. Yes, people are trying to sabotage it. Even yourself, to a certain, in a hater's way, you're trying to sabotage it, Black Snow Bunny King, because you look at it as, oh, yo, these niggas is getting free money. Why can I get free money? But the question is, can you get free money or the money that is owed to you? You call it free money. I call it back pay. I call it back pay, And I get your, put it this way, I get your frustrations, but your frustrations shouldn't be with foundational Black Americans. It should be with the Brits. It's But she said she did her genealogy too, Black Snow Bunny King. That, like, what, Snow Bunny King. Don't turn something in. Don't turn nothing into something. It's just, that's what it is. It's like, yo, sometimes that's what happens. Yo, I got hit. My mama did her 23andMe. She running around here thinking she's Beninese. My mama running around here thinking she's Beninese and Togolese. I'm like, Ma, why you running around here with all this African garment from? What were you you about to marry an African or something? My mama said, "Oh, I just did my 23andMe, and they say I'm from Benin and Togo and Nigeria." I was like, "Ma, you can't be from all them fucking places." I was like, "Ma, there was only 4% of people that were in Africa that came to America involuntarily, ma." So, I was like, "Ma, you know what you should do? You should swap. You should swap our cats." And see, yeah, I found my ancestry slave bound. See, yeah, see, that's what the genealogy is for. That genealogy, and shout out to Mike TV. I know a lot of people go back and forth with Tariq Nasheed and Mike TV. I personally, I know they disagree with a lot of people. I know that a lot of people disagree with Tariq Nasheed or Mike TV, but at the end of the day, you can't get mad that they're not fighting for Black Americans. We can't say that they're not fighting for Black Americans. And I wish they could get along, but at the end of the day, this is what comes with this what comes with, just miscommunication sometimes. Even, what's his name, Calloway. I know a lot of people like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about half the time, because the nigga be talking about. And I like Dane. Dane is the man. They be talking about Harriet Tubman didn't exist. I heard. I'm still looking for that one, just so I'll be like, yo, this nigga's bugging out, and I might do a reaction on it. But yeah, it's yeah, but yeah, I always visit some of the grave sites in Louisiana. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I know the slave plantations in Virginia and Maryland that my ancestors were enslaved on. Yeah, see, baby, you're doing the work, because you want to know. And you know what? And I'm gonna say this: fuck what Black Snow Bunny is saying, and I'm gonna be personally honest. Fuck what he's saying, because at the end of the day, he ain't even worth a pot to piss on. He comes from a failed country. So when you let me actually, I'm gonna say this: when people come from failure, they're gonna try to, they're not gonna be happy with people, being great, trying to do great, trying to, explore other shit. They're gonna tell the person that, yo, you can't do it. You're lying to yourself. So baby, you're doing a good job. Don't fuck what that man saying. Yeah, fuck what he's saying and stuff. And I'm gonna say this, everybody, next week. Um, let me look at my schedule. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yada yada yada. On the 7th, I'm gonna do one show, but after that, I'm gonna do a whole week. That whole week. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do a whole. I'm gonna do a whole week. On the 7th of that week, I'm not doing any shows. I gotta start. I gotta start with the documentary and stuff. I gotta finish this documentary, so I'm gonna be very busy that week. So I'm not gonna do any podcasts in that week. But we'll start back on the 14th. If something big pop up, I might do a little special. I might do a special that week. I mean, one of those days of the week, just stop, do something for 2 hours, and just go back to what I'm doing. But that week, I'm not doing no podcasting. I might do a big show on that Friday. That's if I have no wrestling events to go to. Yes, I will do it. But yeah, that whole week, I'm not gonna be here, so I apologize. Let's see. Black Snow Weekend. I know the slave plantation. I read that part. I am great without reparations. I have documents in nursing. I am a nurse practitioner. Oh, check you out, girl. I served it in the USAF. U.S. Air Force. That's what it is. United States Air Force. Both enlisted in military. I'm good. Yeah, baby, you out here doing your thing. Yo, shout out to you, man. You doing better than like 80% of people. Baby, you doing better than 80% of people. So but I apologize, everybody. I'm not gonna be on podcasts. I'm not doing podcasts on that week. So next week will be the last week for a whole week that I will be doing podcasting. So again, I apologize. Um it's just I have to take that week off to do the documentary, getting this documentary ready and stuff like that. Then I'm gonna have to take another probably 3 or 4 days off. But like I said, if anything pops up, I'll even do some recording on it. It's like, yeah, I'm doing some recording, yada yada yada. You know, but yeah, we getting things popping here, man. I'm about to have the on this side right here. I'm about to have the press machine here, the t-shirt press machine here, because I'm gonna do workout wife beater. I'm just gonna do workout wife beaters and t-shirts with the logo on it. And I got the Pan African. I got somebody. I got the Bronze Reaper Pan African collections for y'all Pan Africans, so y'all don't be feeling like, oh yeah, this nigga ain't worth shit. Some of y'all Pan Africans be giving me some donations, but I got the FBA shit on point. So yeah, I'm gonna have like 3, maybe 4 logos for y'all. So yeah, definitely. And I know we got some the white audience members. We got when y'all days come, when like when one of y'all events come, like the like St. Patrick's Day, I'll have the little Irish shit for y'all. But I will be having the logo t-shirts for the Bronze Reaper podcast on and popping. I'm still working on it with the team and stuff. I'm asking the team, what should I fix? What should I, do? What not? So yeah, it's a lot, everybody. But you know what? I'm glad I'm doing it because it's for y'all. Even the people who argue with me every show, like fucking Snow Bunny King. And I tell this nigga give a donation. I let him talk his bullshit, even though it's be bullshit. I let him talk. And he's an ingrate. He don't appreciate anything. And yes, Black Snow Bunny King, I know what ingrate is. Is a person that doesn't appreciate anything, a person who's very ungrateful, very entitled. You're an ingrate. I know what an ingrate is, so don't question. But shout out to the Pan African community. But like, if we really think about it, like, yo, like, baby, let me ask you a question. Do you think, if when Black Americans get reparations, do you think that's going to be a chain reaction with other countries and stuff? They're going to copy the blueprint of Black Americans and say like, "Yo, these motherfuckers got reparations for some of these countries." And I'm gonna say this: I don't think the Africans is getting reparations. I think the Caribbeans is going to get reparations. I think even certain parts of the Latin countries are going to get reparations. The South Americans excluded, except Argentina. Some of them Argentinians will get it, like 4% of them, because they killed off the Afro Argentinians. They killed most of them off. So it's, I believe, I get, yes, that's why I hopped on the board. Yeah, I agree with you, baby. It's gonna start a chain reaction, and this is why I'm still baffled to this day why the Pan Africans and the Black diaspora are not just sitting back and just just falling in line. Like, why aren't the Pan Africans following in line and saying that, yo, if the Black Americans get it, you know what we can start? Like, and I'm not saying no Caribbean people see it. Like, for example, let me tell you who sees it. He's a Caribbean Jew. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Yes. And he was a great, great, great violin player. And I love the violin. This is why I'm a big fan of Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I'm being biased, because I love the violin. If he and the thing about it, if he would have just played the violin, he probably would have been the greatest violin player of all times. I'm gonna even go that far. That's how great the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan is. That's how great he was. You know, that's why also, baby, that's why I be having like I know sometimes when I do topic questions, it's sometimes the shit just doesn't make no sense, but I put these topics in and because I know I'm probably dyslexic, and I know I got ADHD. I'm probably dyslexic, and for some reason my mind works differently. Where, like, I did this show, I personally wanted to do this show because I wonder why everybody's so triggered about foundational Black Americans, where people could be like, yo, taking parts of what Black Americans in their lineage is doing, instead of not trying to infiltrate it, take little pieces off and put that into their own community. It's like, yo, the Black Americans is doing it. Yo, we can probably do it even faster, because you know what? They've been doing it for so long, where you know what? They know what they're doing. But y'all niggas is new booty out here. Y'all new, and this ain't disrespect. But what y'all doing, infiltrating the Black American lineage, and I have to say infiltrate, because that's what y'all are doing. Y'all are not helping us. Y'all are not, you know, y'all don't want the best for us. Y'all just want the shit done first, or y'all want it done out of y'all hands, or y'all want to benefit off of it. Sometimes of being great and doing something awesome, you can't benefit off of it. It's just something that you could put under your belt and say, like, yo, I helped these people do this. When people were pushing back on foundational Black Americans, I was the ones that, yo, they got a point. Like, look at Randall. Randall's a white man. But Randall has always been behind Black Americans. He's seen what been going on since the 90s, and he has been saying it. Yes, Randall, who be on this show making jokes, he has always been behind Black Americans. You know, and this is why the foundational Black Americans, we say he's a writer. He's a writer. He don't say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and do that," or "You should do this, you should do that." No, he said, "Yo, okay, yo, what do y'all need us to do?" Oh, this is what y'all talking about. Oh, let me go on this show and say what he says. Randall gets kicked off a lot of shows of saying what Black Americans are saying. Like, I know a lot of people be like, "Yo, that's he's trying to infiltrate like sinners." No, Randall knows he don't get nothing from it, but Randall has black kids. He got black children from a black woman. You think Randall's gonna be like, "Oh well, nigga, you could still you could still have this whiteness"? No, the world. Randall understands that the world sees his children as black children, and and I'm gonna say this: I think a lot of y'all Africans and y'all Caribbeans, y'all are doing what the white man used to do, and that's the one drop rule. Y'all was doing the one drop rule. Oh, you African nigga. Tell me my African ancestors. Tell me my African family members. Oh, it's all the country. Nigga, I'm not gonna celebrate all the fucking country of Africa. Like, come on. This is what a lot of these Africans be saying. This is what a lot of these Caribbeans said. Why do I gotta celebrate the whole of Africa and the whole of Africa don't even accept black Americans? And I've been telling Africa, yo, fix y'all problem in Africa, build that relationship in Africa, then come back to Black America and get your shit on. Try to build a relationship that y'all have with Black America. But y'all can't do that because at the end of the day, this is the thing. Y'all always say Black Americans are the main character. We got a main character syndrome. Y'all made us the main character syndrome. We were saying that like, yo, we're more than just African. We can't even call ourselves African no more because we are an admixture. And the Africans told us we're not African. And I agreed with them. I was like, yeah, I agree. Africans can't get along on their own continent. They are too tribal. Yeah, they're very tribalistic. Man, I be at work, yo. Another tribe with another tribe be arguing with each other. Yo, the shit is crazy. And not all Africans are like this, but at the end of the day, it's a majority thing. Elon Musk were is roughly 900 billion. That is ridiculous. If FBA's were paid reparation, everyone would benefit. Wealth should not be concentrated to the 1%, top 1%. Yes, you're right, baby. I agree with that one. I'm gonna put that on the screen. I actually like that one. But it comes to a point now, and this is where like people get even mad when black people be like, yo, I'm not even African. I'm a Black American. We have our own culture. We have our own everything. We don't really get anything from Africa. And sometimes you just gotta respect people when they say that shit. When niggas was running around here talking about they were women and shit, okay, yeah, all right, that's something new to me, you know. And I know there was niggas shutting the shit. Yo, you ain't a girl, but I'm not gonna let. But one thing I'm not gonna let you do: go in the bathroom with my daughter. Fuck no. We're gonna be fighting. We're gonna be some fighting motherfuckers. You know, I've been told people that we're gonna be some fighting motherfuckers. God fucked up when he gave me a girl because I'll put hands on niggas. It be- God fucked up when he gave me a daughter, man. I'll put hands on the motherfucker. So it be like that, man. But hey, yeah, it be like that. they'll understand that. You gotta understand that, man. You know, because one little thing could just fuck your kids up, man. Yo, and yo, nigga, there's people out here killing their nephews, their children, nigga. Some shit happened with some white lady. She killed three of her children. Bitches trying to blame that on postpartum. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, you be surprised, man. Africans can't get along. I read that. Africans are tribal. They need someone to look down on. They thought they could look down on FBA. Wrong. Yeah, you can't do that. I'm going to use correct pronouns. I don't care if a man wants to be called. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, me too. But when it comes with when it comes in the in danger of my kids, because a lot of these people are getting caught sexually assaulting kids, like that shit that happened with Sydney. What's her name? Sydney Starr. That she's not the first one. Did we forget about Boy George? This nigga buying underage prostitutes and shit. Yeah, it's was it Boy George? I think it was Boy George. Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. And it's yeah. We gotta hold on one second. Give me a second, everybody. This is for my job. Okay, one sec. But yeah, I'll say this, everybody. Yeah, you gotta be careful with your kids and stuff, man. Yeah. Let me look that up and see if it's Boy George, because I want to be correct when I say that. Give me a second, everybody. All right, so I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it right now. So damn, there's mad charges. Boy George invited Carlson to his London apartment for a photo shoot in August 2007. Suffered from was it indu- drug induced paranoia, cocaine addiction. The singer accused Carson of was it hiking his laptop and stealing photos. Boy George and another man handcuffed Carson to a wall fixture and threatened him. Let's see, yada yada yada. Managed to break fixation. Yada yada yada. Charged with charged with assault. Yada yada. Give me a second, everybody. I think I missed poor judge 50 years for false imprisonment and male escort by him. All right, here it goes another one. Boy George was sentenced to 15 months in jail for falsely imprisoning a male escort by handcuffing him to a wall and beating him with a metal chain. Yada yada yada. Da, 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 da. Oh no, he wasn't underage. He was 29. He consented to this. There was somebody who consented to it. Oh, what's the dude? Hold on. I know who it was. And he beat the case too. Hold on, let me check one more thing. Yada yada yada. 2000, he was 29, not convicted or travel. Nah, it wasn't him. So let me correct that. The guy was over age, but he basically damn nigga. He basically kidnapped the nigga. You know, he falsely imprisoned him and beat the shit out of him. So yeah, I fixed that. That's why I said, yo, let me look this up. But there are a lot of people. Hold on, let me see. Give me a second, everybody. I'm gonna read it. Okay. Kevin Spacey's one. Yeah, Kevin Spacey is one. Yeah, yeah. Kevin Spacey is one. Who else? And that shit happened in Massachusetts. You know, the parents fucked up because I think they were trying to steal money. I mean, I think they were trying to get money. You know, but yeah, a lot of these people need to be in jail, man. You know, and I always tell people there's nothing wrong with being, there's nothing wrong with you protecting your kids. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, but yeah, Kevin Spacey was one of them. It was a 14-year-old kid that they would say it happened in 2017. Um, what was it? They said Brian Peck. I don't know who Brian Peck is. Like, yeah, you got to protect your kids out here, man. I will always tell people there's not. Yeah, are you talking about Kevin Spacey, the actor? Yeah, Kevin Spacey. Yeah, the American Beauty guy. Yeah, the American Beauty guy. Oh, he died. Let me see. Kevin Spacey died. No, Kevin Spacey's still alive. He's just been blackballed from everything. You know. Yeah, yeah. It's like, yo, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in these yeah, American Pie, American Beauty, American Beauty. Yeah, American Beauty. It's an old school movie. Let me see. Remember that movie with the girl and like she was in the tub and it had a whole bunch of petals and stuff and he was going to have sex with the girl's friend. I mean his daughter's best friend and he found it's a good movie. It was like in the 90s. Yeah, Kevin Spacey, that Kevin Spacey. You know, I'll give you some more movies he was with. He was in Unusual Suspects. They took him out of the House of Cards. He was in Baby. Was he in Baby Driver? Oh, they have this nigga in Baby Driver. Oh yeah, this was before that shit happened. Yeah, Kevin Spacey. Yeah, Kevin Spacey's a fucking freak, man. Yeah, he degenerate, man. A lot of these people ain't worth shit, man. And this is where a lot of this stuff comes from, man. And I never said there was no fire, yada yada yada. But yeah, I would. It's a lot of. You just gotta watch out for just family members. Period. I'm gonna talk for 5 more minutes, and we're gonna start the show. Um, was also openly racist. I'll say this: a lot of the LGBTQIA people community, the ones that I bumped into in that community, and this is why I stay away from that community. They have a lot of racist ideology. You know, I when I was working at Whole Foods, a lot of those people who were in the LGBTQIA, and this was when like 10 years ago. Um, they have racist views against Black Americans. They feel comfortable of saying the word nigger around Black people. They think we are the same, but also when they get mad, they say racist shit about Black Americans. Just Black people, period. You know, or the Black diaspora, period. You know, and this is why I say, yo, let them handle their own thing. This is why a lot of people push back against yeah, he was on a House of Cards. They took him. They had to redo that whole shit all over because of him, because of the sexual assault allegations. And I apologize to our boy George. He just kidnapped the nigga and beat the nigga, and he was a male escort. You know, I apologize for that. That was wrong misinformation. That's why I said let me look it up. But I still wouldn't have that nigga around my kids. I'm not gonna even lie because hey, it's. I'm not saying they got something mental going on. You are who you are. I'm not no fucking doctor, so I care less. But I just care about my kids. I don't like people. I personally don't really like a lot of people around my kids. That's just me. Yeah. But yeah, I would say this. Um, because let's get back into what we were talking about. We was talking about the word foundation. This, don't be surprised too. A lot of the white community is pushing back on, or they get triggered by the word foundation too. You know, like even look at Tariq Nasheed when some shit, and definitely when some shit happens to some white people, and another white person do it. That's when they want to talk to us. This is when they want to vent out their frustrations on us and not really talk about the real solution. So and like I said, this is where I have problems with a lot of these the white community, even these white supremacists, is because you're not pushing back on the people who are having the problems with you. Your problems is coming from from other white folks. You know, the greatest enemy to a white person has always been the other white people that disagreed with them. Julius Caesar, his own people killed him. Maximus, his own people killed him. You know, you gotta look at a lot of white leaders died from other white people. You know, and it's just that's how the cookie is crumbled. But when it comes to foundational Black Americans, it has always been a person who portrayed themselves for being a Black American, a person who's doing the work for the white supremacists. You know, so yeah, he can't comprehend extra disproportionate. Uh, say Michaels. Let me ask you a question. Who commit most of the crimes in America? And let me see if you're gonna be honest. Who commits most of the crimes in America? We're gonna see who's gonna be honest. We're gonna see if he's gonna answer the question. And there's not. And at the end of the day, say Michael, it's not like you can't fix the problem. And you know who commits most of the crimes and violent crimes in America? White males commit most crimes in America. Shout out to Bay Bay. Yet another St. Michael's. Most white people commit most of the crimes in America. Don't forget, y'all are the majority. We're gonna see most of y'all commit more crimes in America. There's more white poor people in America than black Americans. No matter if you want to do the per capita, the 1 in 3 and the 1 in 7, y'all niggas commit most of the crimes in America. Remember Jesse Mack? You remember Jesse Mack, the guy who sexually violated 2 women? He was looking at 75 years, and his white skin gave him the get out of free card with no record, no record. Still goes to college, and his record was being a sponge. All he had to do is go to community service and anger management from Oklahoma. St. Michael's. I just named one. He sexually violated 2 women and got off. I didn't hear none of y'all come on my show and say, like, yo, we're we should be outraged right now. Justice for these 2 young underage women. This man choked a woman and she had to go into surgery because he made her give her oral. And he choked another bitch and damn near bust her what's that joint right here? The joint in her neck. She damn near killed the bitch. And the white mama, got the nigga off. So St. Michael's. That's a common thing in your community, St. Michael's. That's a common thing. It's a common thing. You know? I'm not saying you're doing it. You're just an average old meth head that, just likes to get high and pick up kids. But we're talking about the pure evil of the evilest. Like, I want to ask you this question, say, Michael, how the hell you can make these type of people, these people that do this shit, look like saints? This is why your white Jesus is evil. Because that white Jesus is Caesar Borgia, one of the Pope's sons. He loved to have sex with his sister, killed a man over his sister, and was a psychopath murderer. That's your white Jesus. That's Caesar Borgia. This is the people. This is the Jesus that you don't want to be black. This is the reason why y'all don't want a black Jesus. You rather praise to a murderous killer than to praise to a black man that gave you all this knowledge, all this beautiful good book that is called the Holy Bible, King James Version. St. Michael's. You could put as many crimes as you want, but we know the truth. We're talking about black Americans and white Americans. We're not talking about the black diaspora. Because if you really, really look at it, black Americans commit less of the crimes. It's mostly a black foreigner. And I'm sorry I have to put the black foreigner on the limelight, but that's what they do. They commit most of these crimes. This is why the delineation is happening. This is why, and thank you, St. Michael's. This is why the word foundation triggers people. Yes, St. Michael's. Like you can't this is why I said that per capita doesn't tell the full story. If you're the majority and most of your people are doing most of the harsh crimes, you know, can we say this, St. Michael's? Most of those people that are committing most of these harsh crimes, they didn't learn from history that it was bad, it wasn't good. Can we say that? You know, and like I'm not saying your whole community is bad, but it's nigga, we can't when we're talking about crime, black on black crime should be thrown out the window. I personally think y'all use that as an scapegoat. I'm just being personally honest. I think that's a scapegoat on what you're doing. It's a scapegoat. And black people are the most exonerated after being wrongfully accused of crimes. Yep, facts. That's true, baby. That's true. So everybody, we're about to start the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. When you comment in the live chat, don't forget to share and subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Subscribe if you're new because you know what? This is on subscribers only, I believe. Whites are underrepresented in virtually all crime. I think y'all are overrepresented. You know, and I think a lot of y'all crime is hidden under the rug. Like your boy Jesse Otto. I mean, yeah, remember Otto, the nigga who remember who violated that little Asian girl, and the father wrote to the judge, "Oh yeah, he only sexually assaulted her for only 2 minutes," and they just let him out with 6 months of probation, and they had to get two black civilians had to get this man off this little China woman because he couldn't because he's hypersexual. He's a hypersexual monster. You remember that guy, Brock? Yes. He was a hypersexual creature. Wrongfully convicted represents less than Cap. Say Michaels, you can't just be out here saying stuff. But everybody, give me like 40 seconds. I'm gonna go get myself some tea and we're gonna start the show. Just give me like 45. All right, I'm back, everybody. Thank y'all for waiting. I want to say this, St. Michael's. I'm not saying all of y'all are bad. Even put it this way, even with a higher percentage, of all y'all that do a lot of crime, it's because y'all got a bigger population. You know, if you, I'm gonna say that if you say that your peoples are this nice and stuff like that, if you're saying that your people is this nice and this civil and stuff like that, what is all of this stuff going on, man? You know, and this is why I always gave you the advice, St. Michael's. I say police your people. I think this is where you messed up. Is that a lot of y'all white folks don't police y'all own people? You know, okay, the door is locked. Yeah, y'all don't police y'all own people. If y'all would have policed your own people, I think you would be fine. You know, you don't police them. This is what happens. When people find out, we be like, oh, okay, yo, this is what type of time these niggas is on. These white boys, and this is why a lot of these black folks, and I'm gonna say this, even though some of these black folks be shooting these white folks, it's because they get out of hand. Like, let me ask y'all a question. You don't think if Chud the Builder didn't do what he did, and to the person that he did it for, did it to, you don't think, yo, Chud the Builder, and this is just me. Chud the Builder should Chud the Builder would have been shot if he was in the hood doing shit like this. He would have never got a pass, especially with black Americans. These black Caribbeans and all this other stuff. They 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 worship white people, you know? And don't forget, they had to sign treaties. A lot of these people who sign treaties, they worship white people. You know, I'm not saying, oh yeah, it makes white people bad, but at the end of the day, a lot of these the black diaspora did it to themselves. They did this shit to themselves. You know, and this is where again it comes from taking accountability. Black Americans, yeah, um we talk about racism and all this other stuff, but we put boots to ground. We kick a nigga's back in if it has to be that way. You know, we don't let niggas off the hook anymore because of people like these people. But we're gonna watch this video first. This is Devin Haney's father, Bill Haney. Shout out to OG. I think he's older than me, man. I think he could probably be my uncle or something, like a big uncle. But let's listen to Devin Haney.
Mom being a Black Panther, she wasn't an African Panther. She was a Black Panther. Right. She taught me what it would meant to be black, beautiful, and powerful. We have represented being black. We've stood on being black, and we're one of the most. Our culture moves the world. The black culture moves the world. So standing up and being proud about it. Young black kids, they need to see. And let Africa take care of Africa. We got to take care of here. Mom being
Let him listen one more time,
she wasn't
everybody.
an African Panther. She was a Black Panther. Right. She taught me what it would meant to be black, beautiful, and powerful. We have represented being black. We've stood on being black, and we're one of the most. Our culture moves the world. The black culture moves the world. So standing up and being proud about it. Young black kids, they need to see. And let Africa take care of Africa. We got to take care of here. Mom being.
There we go. I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Bill Haney, man. I think sometimes we need to hear this from famous people, man. You know, we too many people on this show. And this comes from the Pan African community. I know it feels like I kick y'all back in, but these are questions that we do ask. You know, a lot of these Pan Africans, I have been telling them for years, for like a year and a half, that a lot of these Black Panther, they were Black American first. They were American first. And I know they say, oh yeah, you know, Africa helped. Who knows? But they were Black Americans that were doing this. They were black. That was a Black American. That was a Black American struggle. That wasn't a global struggle. It's just The reason why it was global because people were influenced by it. A lot of people were influenced and inspired by the Black Panther Party. Were there people that were from other ethnicities? There was a Chinaman that was in the Black Panther Party, and guess what he was? He was a fucking informant. He was a fucking informant. He was an informant for years. He was in the military. He got busy out here. They said, I think this nigga, I believe, and I'm not sure, I think he was the president of one of the Black Panther chapters. But we're going to hear again how Black Americans aren't African. You know?
That this admixture is around 20% on average, with most of it coming from British settlers. And because of this blend, they often look different from sub-Saharan Africans. That's why Black Americans are not like Africans, because even though they descend from African slaves, their ancestry today is mixed with European. But what's crazy is that this admixture is around 20% on average, with most of it coming from British settlers. And because of this blend, they often look different from sub-Saharan Africans. That's why Black Americans...
And this is why I always told St. Michael's, I was like, St. Michael's, we're not saying you're wrong. We're saying that we're an admixture. We're more than just two things. We're more than just two things. We're more than just two things. You know, and I want everybody to understand what the word foundation is. So we're gonna go back 3 years ago when Tariq Nasheed was explaining this. You know, I think people are getting it fucked up because,
now,
like,
you mentioned FBI.
I think people are scared. I don't think people are scared of the lineage. I think people are scared of the results of what Black Americans is gonna be, or foundational Black Americans is gonna be. Like, let's put it this way. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you believe if foundational Black Americans have gotten the chance, the term foundational Black Americans got a chance, do you think it will be bigger than what it is now? And everybody's like, oh, okay, you know what? This is what they're talking about. I understand what they're talking about. Outrage. You know? They will understand what Black Americans is talking about. But a lot of these people are not trying to understand what Black Americans is talking about. They're just trying to say, okay, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? We ain't gonna let this shit happen. This is why you got the Afro think tanks and shits like that. Like Afro think tank's problem is that a lot of these Pan Africans are losing money. A lot of these Black Americans don't want to help. But the thing that Afro think tank has to understand, everybody has a choice to do what the fuck they want to do. We have a choice to help or not help. We have the choice to say, like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. We're not going to take your abuse. You talk shit, I'm going to talk shit back. No matter how your feelings going to get hurt. And niggas don't even give you that strong push. We give you a light tap, nigga. And you already crying foul after all that. Nigga, come on. Black Americans don't even have a racial term for Africans. We don't have a racial term for Africans. We don't have a racial term for anybody. We have never. But you know who does have a racial term for y'all? The guy you love. The white supremacist. The white supremacist that you support as much as you do. That's the guy who's kicking in your back. That's the guy who say, yo, he don't want you in this country. Black Americans is like, yo, we don't give a fuck. But we don't want you infiltrating what we're doing. We don't want y'all identifying of what we are because we're not the same. Y'all gotta be. This is tea, everybody. But y'all gotta get on the right page. Y'all gotta understand what the word foundation is. Y'all gotta understand why people don't like the word foundation. Foundational. I apologize. Foundational. But let's get busy and let's listen.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
This is a term that I think I first heard about this term maybe 2 years ago. Do you have a book or an ebook about?
Yeah, I got a book. Yeah, I got a book. Well, I got a book really talking about my experiences. It's called Foundational Black American Race Beta.
Yeah. Talk about this term. Where did it come from, and what inspired that book?
The term Foundational Black American, I really got that term from Claude Anderson. I'm a big student of Claude Anderson, and I would chop it up with him, not just in my movies, but I would have him on my podcast, and he would talk about how unique Native Black Americans are. He would use the term Native Black Americans, and he would talk about how unique we are as far as our lineage. We are a unique group, which is true. And I started using the term Native Black American, but sometimes that term would confuse people because they thought, well, do you mean a Cherokee who's mixed with black? Do you mean a Choctaw who's mixed with black? So that term would be somewhat confusing. So I said, let's do another term. Let's tighten that term up so that there won't be any confusion. So foundational instead of native, because black people, we are the founders of this nation, meaning we're the foundation. We built this nation from scratch.
So
white people couldn't even say that they did that. But go ahead.
You changed that term?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I came up with the term foundation.
So I want everybody to hear what he said, and this is what a lot of people are fighting over right now. You know, listen to what he said.
Instead of native, because black people, we are as our lineage, we are a unique group, which is true. And I started using the term Native Black American, but sometimes that term would confuse people because they thought, well, do you mean a Cherokee who's mixed with black? Do you mean a Choctaw who's mixed with black? So that term would be somewhat confusing. So I said, let's do another term. Let's tighten that term up so that there won't be any confusion. So foundational instead of native, because black people, we are the founders of this nation, meaning we're the foundation. We built this nation from scratch. So white people couldn't even say that they did that. But go ahead.
You changed that term?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I came up with the term foundational Black American based on Native Black American from Claude Anderson.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
It's been taken off. I go on Clubhouse, and there's these really interesting debates between foundational Black Americans and Black immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean, and it gets a little nasty sometimes.
It does get nasty, yeah.
And it's sometimes a little offensive. Me being that I have roots. My roots are in the Caribbean, but my roots also go to slavery. In fact, I could trace my roots to the actual name of the slave that is a descendant on my dad's side, named Julian Alonso, who was a runaway slave from an island called Curacao. Not too many people can name the person in their family who was that slave. So I feel like my history and my background is very similar to foundational Black Americans, but there's this divide now. And I think maybe the divide, some people saying the divide is becoming more severe because of you.
No, well, that's a cop-out because that's a projection. Let's be very clear. The divide has always come from the immigrant class, always. We have been the only ones welcoming them in as brothers and sisters and saying, hey, you black like me, we all black. The minute many of people from the immigrant class, they do something constructive, they go out of their way to distance themselves from us. So if they go get a PhD, well, I'm a Nigerian American, man. I'm the first Nigerian American with a PhD. All right, I mean, good for you, brother. If they win a track meet or whatever, oh, they're the first Ghanaian American, they go out of their way. This woman who's the spokesperson at the White House, they made a big deal about it. Well, she's the first Haitian American. She's Haitian. She's a Haitian American. They go out of their way when it's constructive. When a motherfucker rob a liquor store and he's Haitian or he's black, if somebody go rapes 18 women, oh, he's Nigerian, but he's black. He's black.
So whose fault is that, though? It's not.
That's theirs and the white people too. That's theirs and the white people too.
I would say it's white media.
Yeah, and them. They do that shit too.
Well, they do it when it's to affirm some success.
Yeah. No, but you black when you want to dump your trash on us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want nobody's fucking trash. Yeah. I don't want nobody's trash. If we're gonna be different when it's positive, be different when it's negative. Don't just be black when it's negative, and then we get the stigma for it. In New York right now, there's a lot of crimes against Asian people. The people just running up, hitting Asian people in the head in New York for no reason. We did the research. Many of these people are immigrants. These are not FBAs doing that. We look at the background of these people. We're seeing a lot of these people are not even FBA. But we get the stigma.
This is why I said what I said. I was like, yo, what's his ethnicity? What's his ethnicity? And I'm gonna say this. It's gonna fuck y'all up. Kamala Harris. She's Indian and Jamaican. She's Asian and Caribbean. Because Indians are considered Asian. Her own people is beating her own people, technically, because she is Asian, half Asian. Her mother's Indian. Her father's Jamaican. I think a white Jamaican, but nigga, it is what it is. But yeah, it's nasty. But at the end of the day, Black Americans have, like, again, we have been the most giving people. We have been always the giving, inclusive. As I keep on promoting, and this is why I took St. Michael's, and I'm gonna tell you all what St. Michael's problem really is. His problem isn't really Black Americans. It's that, he's not his people aren't number one no more. They're not influential people. People are finding out that they're not even influential. The reason why they got what they got is through Black Americans. But when the crime comes, oh, that really never happens. That's not that many. Like, nigga, you're the percent. You're the majority. There's gonna be more crimes. I mean, there's gonna be more white on white crimes than more black on black crimes. There's no ifs or buts about it. There's no way how you can cut or slice it. There is gonna be more white on white crime, geographically and demographically, if that makes sense. They're in America. They're in a white town or white community. They're gonna commit more crimes on each other than Black Americans do. On Black Americans. And the thing we're finding out, most of these people who are committing crimes that are in the Black community have an immigrant background. Like, I'm gonna say this: in New York, the only L that we really have to hold is Clarence Heatley. If you don't know who Clarence Heatley is, his name went by Preacher. There are more, but Clarence Heatley was one of the bigger ones, and he was a Southerner who committed more than 10 crimes, murderous crimes. So we have to hold that L. It's like, yo, this nigga needs to be under the jail cell. This nigga was out here violating boys for punishment or to break them in. Like, we have to hold that L, but all this other stuff, that this Elpo shit, this fucking what's the other shit that these niggas was doing in New York? All this chopping up niggas and stuff like that, selling all these drugs. That's more of the shower posse. Like, that's more of a Caribbean thing, As and I always bring up Kwame. Kwame has always said, "Yo, New York is a melting pot of immigrants," and I said, "Okay." So I said, so most of the crime has to be coming from y'all. No, 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 no. Hold up, wait a minute. It's the Black Americans that's doing all the crime in New York. I said, but you are the majority of immigrants in America, in New York. You just said that. And that's when shit goes left. He starts talking about FBA and Tariq and shit. That's how it always goes. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a lot of those folks gotta get their shit together. And this is just me. And this is where I say our communities are more stronger. And like, we do have rich communities everywhere. And like I told them, in Massachusetts, we have Oak Bluff. What is it? New Jersey has multiple Black communities. DC has multiple Black communities. Georgia has multiple Black cities. Good cities, and it's, but Black Snow Bunny King. They're the ones who committing the crimes. What can we say? They're the ones that's committing the crimes. You know, that's the thing. Black Snow Bunny Kings. When Black Americans have a problem, we always bring it up to the forefront. That's why, if you ever notice, with Clarence Heatley, and I just noticed a pattern. He will fuck with the weak. You know, he will fuck with the weak. He wasn't a weak motherfucker, but he knows his limits. He knew his limits. You know? Stop blaming a small percentage of blacks from the diaspora. But Black Snow Bunny King, if they're the ones committing all of the crimes, like in Massachusetts and Boston, didn't we just see Haitians steal like $4 million in SNAP? And it's not the whole Haitian community, but it's, nigga, they're bringing they're bringing a camera up to it and saying like, okay, yo, these niggas is committing a lot of crimes. What the fuck is going on? It's because they're not policing their own people. They go by and it's all right, but they go by a different code of like, yo, if it ain't got nothing to do with me, I don't fuck with it. Leave me out of it. What Black Americans, our elders talk to us like, yo, you fucking up the community. What the fuck is you doing? Like, why are you doing that? And even if you was fucking up the community, people were making money. And not off the drugs. It's like, okay, say, okay, yo, this guy's selling drugs over here. I'm not a drug dealer. But, you know, I got a little hustle like, oh, yeah, I cut hair. Boom, 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 boom. I'm cutting all the drug dealers' hair. I'm getting good money. I ain't got no license, but they know I can cut. You know? Or auntie needs a little bit more money, so she's making that good southern food. Niggas is get boom, 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 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. She just made $600 off a whole bunch of plates of food for drug dealers. Like, niggas is eating, it's different. Or a nigga will cook out outside and sell the food. It's just like niggas always had a hustle. And like, yeah, it's just, that's, what was it, 19-year-old football star was killed a few days ago in Compton. Guess why? He was shit and killed. You mean he wasn't shit and killed because of the color? But you gotta understand, Black Snow Bunny King. You gotta ask the question: what is his ethnicity? Was he a Black American? There's a lot of Belizeans in California. You gotta read the whole story. We don't know what this man was into. There's a lot of football players that was into shit. Did you forget Blueface? Blueface was a football player. He was about to go to college. If not, I think he was in college for football. So you got to ask these questions. Yo, sometimes you have to ask the question, what is these people into? You know, not everybody is supposed to get a pass because they're Black American. There are some people that do fuck up. But you got to ask the questions. Because I can't answer that question, Black Snow Bunny King, because I can't tell you, I don't know the whole story. The ghetto FBA cult members that were educated African Americans strive to separate over from childlessness and violence. That's why we educate African Americans despite the FBA. I'm not getting what you're saying. No, I'm not claiming Belizean. I'm just telling you that's another ethnicity. I don't know what's going on. Like, again, like, this is why Black American is delineating, because yo, we don't know those people. We don't know their culture. A lot of these people have different cultures. Like St. Michael's like to delineate from the small hats. He can't because they're white. They probably got a different ethnicity, but they consider themselves white. Technically, St. Michael's isn't white because he's Irish. So That's why I say that's the difference between white culture and Black American culture. White culture, like I again, they like to be together. They like to be together, but ethnic, ethically, like the ethnicity is different. Seriously, question. Serious question. That's never hear any FBA give a good answer on. No, no, y'all got a different ethnicity, but y'all move as a group. Y'all all got that whiteness. Like let's be honest. That's the difference between us. You know, all y'all can say that you're white because you're from, like, say Michaels, you're from Ireland. You're not even a British white man. You're an Irish white man. Y'all just became white like probably like 80 years ago, 80, 90 years ago. My grandmother is older than your culture of being white, My grandmother's 87, you know. The Germans wasn't white at a time. The Polish wasn't white. You know, this is what I'm saying, St. Michael's, a lot of y'all are white. If you want to say you're an Irish American, you can say you're Irish American, but you got to explain what is white. What is white American then? Black Americans is an admixture. Yeah, Black Americans is an admixture. You know? Now the question I have to ask you, St. Michael's, are white Americans admixtures? Because if all y'all are an admixture, y'all are all one, or y'all are all white. In my community, we call those type of whites freaks, perverts, weirdos, and heathens. But among the FBA, we call them white allies. Who call who white allies? We don't have any allies, St. Michael's. We have a few riders, but other than that, and don't forget, St. Michael's, homosexuality came from your community, man. Did you forget? St. Michael's, do you know homosexuality came from your community? It came from white. It came from the white supremacy community. You know. Do you know that? You didn't know that? It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. Y'all just gay, man. There's nothing wrong with it. That's why y'all so free to do other stuff. And let me tell y'all something. That's one of the blessings that y'all can have. Like, y'all niggas could kiss a man and be like, yo, I'm not gay. You know? That's what y'all can do. Black Americans can't do that, But a lot of y'all white Americans can do that. That's just a gift that y'all have. That's why y'all can go into these movies and do that. I mean, y'all can go to acting class and do that. It's a blessing. So don't get mad about that. It's just something that y'all can do. Give me a second. All right, there we go. But yeah, and I'm not calling y'all. I'm not saying you're a homosexual. It's just I'm just saying that y'all are free and liberated to do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all can be like, oh yeah, y'all can suck a penis and be like, oh, that's not gay. I was just experimenting that day because I was drinking. That's what y'all can say. We can't say no shit like that. You're like, nah, my nigga, you gay, my nigga. Oh, y'all can just say, oh yeah, that's some white people shit. Like that's the difference, And this nigga still talking about HIV. Then he wanted to say per capita. Now let me ask you a question, St. Michael's. Who has more HIV, blacks or white? You don't want to answer the question. And it's not wrong, St. Michael's. I'm just asking the question because you're not answering the whole question. Because you're making homosexuality feel like it's a bad thing, and that's your culture. Like, don't be ashamed of your culture. Yeah, I would say Michaels don't want to answer that question. Give me a second, say Michaels. But let's finish this video.
So when the stop and frisk comes, I'm getting hemmed up because of what this motherfucker just did. We're saying enough is enough. If we're going to be all one group, let's be all one group. Since you're making it clear that we're different, we're going to be different all across the board. And we have a different, unique lineage, and that's okay. We celebrate everybody's unique lineage. They just had West Indian Day Parade out there in New York. Wonderful thing, celebrate that. Nobody has a problem when everybody else wants to celebrate their lineage. We have a lineage. We have a unique lineage here as Foundation of Black Americans. We want to celebrate and acknowledge that. That's not divisive. That's what everybody else is doing.
So what is the solution? Because there's no way.
There's not a problem for there to be a solution. See, that's not a problem. Us acknowledging our lineage is not a problem. You don't need a solution for a problem that doesn't exist. Everybody should just say, hey, look, we celebrate your uniqueness as a Foundation of Black American. The problem is when we do something constructive, instead of giving us credit for it, other people want to start getting credit for it, and that's the problem.
That's the, and this was from 3 years ago, and this is why I said, this is why I say all the time, this word foundational is a very important thing. You know, this delineates us from others. But the thing is that a lot of people don't want this delineations that are not Black Americans. And should they be scared? I don't know. Should y'all be scared? I think y'all should be happy to celebrate y'all own culture. You know, that's what I always believed in. I believe that y'all show y'all own culture when y'all delineate. You know, you show your excellence of your culture. You know, but a lot of y'all don't want to do that. Y'all want to be under Black American, that Black American cloak. You know, and that's where you have to. That's where you have to like just stop, just stop and think. You know. Hold on 1 second. But we're gonna watch a Tariq Nasheed. This is why foundational Black Americans, is dominating every conversation. This is why everybody talks about foundational Black Americans. You know, this is the reason why everybody talks about it.
Darling Radio, like and subscribe. Darling Radio, like and subscribe.
Miss Tanjeez, hop on in, Tanjeez.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Well, okay, what the hell, dude? Are you catfishing? I thought this was a.
No, I ain't catfishing. I just came up for my wife. I want to ask a question.
Oh, okay. That's your lady, dude.
Yeah.
All right. That's a nice looking sister on there. All right. Why are you using your wife's account?
Because I don't get on this stuff, man. I don't get on all these panels and shit.
Okay. All right. Now, what's your name? I ain't about to call you Tanjeez. What's your name, brother?
I'm John.
John.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind, John?
I just want to ask a question. Why you want to change the names now to Foundation Black America?
Oh, okay.
Because you know Jesse Jackson did it. Barack did it. And what's the reason for it now?
So you think Ike went around changing the name?
I'm not going to say you did it, but, if the world is talking about reparation right now.
Right.
And don't you think if we get the name changed right now, we're going to miss out on a lot of money?
Like what? Now, what do you think? Let's slow down. You say, what do you think I did? What do you think I did?
Well, I ain't going to say you did it, but where did the name come from? Foundation Black America.
I popularized it.
Okay. Well, if you popularize it, what made you popularize it?
What's going on, Breeze Omega? Shout out to Breeze Omega. I'm always on this show making jokes, cracking jokes, and stuff like that. I forgot what I said yesterday, Breeze. But yeah, I always come on Breeze Omega shows trying to. Oh yeah, I said Breeze Omegas is out here in Virginia selling um raccoon burgers. Who's worried about another man other than Texas? Yeah, St. Michael's is a potato slave. He's from Ireland. You know, he just became white. You know, he's using his whiteness to the best that he can. You know, so also, why are you guys still in denial when it comes to St. Michael's? So what if his wife is Jewish? Your wife is Jewish. Nobody don't say shit like yo. And I'm just being a hypothetical because his wife is black because of her father. And but if it was, so the fuck what? Like, come on. You know, it's St. Michael's. I'm gonna say this. You're the only person who got a problem with Jewish people. We don't give a fuck because you know why? Because we the end all be all, my nigga. Like, come on. Who gives a fuck? You're the only reason why you don't like Jewish people because they beating y'all the fuck up, you know? Them niggas is kicking y'all niggas backs in, and you got a problem with them. You know? Now you don't want them to be white no more because now you don't want them to be white no more. Like, come on, my nigga. You was in cahoots with them when y'all was getting black Americans over in America. I mean, over from Africa. Now all of a sudden, them niggas know what to do with their money, and you're mad. Why you mad at? Let me ask you a question, St. Michael's. Why are you mad at the small hats? The small hats didn't do shit to you, my nigga. St. Michael's. Why are you mad at the small hats and them small hats didn't do shit to you? Yo, shout out to Rando. I was just talking about you, Rando. But yeah, if his wife was Jewish, so the fuck what? My nigga, you the only one who got a you're the only one who got a bad taste in their mouth because them niggas outspend y'all, got more money than y'all, got better communities than y'all. Like, yo, my niggas, why you mad at black Americans for that? We don't give a fuck. Let me ask you a question, St. Michael. Do you think black Americans care that fucking Lenny Kravitz is half Jewish? We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck Lenny Kravitz is Jewish. He makes good music. His father's Jewish. And so the fuck what? Look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. His grandfather is Jewish. So the fuck what? We don't care. Honorable Louis Farrakhan always stuck up for Black America. He always stuck up for Black America. Like, you're the only person who has a problem with Jewish people. We don't give a fuck about that shit. That shit ain't got nothing to do with us. Those wars and all that shit ain't got nothing to do with us. We getting shit busy over here, nigga. Like, niggas is getting busy over here. You worried about the wrong fucking thing. That's your problem, St. Michael's. You worry about the wrong fucking thing. You know? Would be majority Jewish since his parents wouldn't have black. It doesn't, but St. Michael's, that's the thing. We don't give a fuck. So what? We don't care about that nigga's ethnicity. We just care about if the nigga stay on code. If he doesn't stay on code, he gotta get the fuck on. Well, she's African, so the fuck what? It doesn't matter. You know? But let's keep on playing.
I just said it because it made sense.
But don't you think it's going to cause a problem right now?
It's too late now. Everybody's using it.
Well, Don't you think that if the government gonna pay black people out, they not gonna go by Foundation Black America? They gonna go by African American.
No, they're not.
I guarantee you.
I guarantee you they're not, because anybody can be African American. The mayor of New York is African American and he's East Indian, sir. We ain't gonna let that happen. Barack Obama is African American. Why would we
Yeah.
let immigrants get reparations owed to our ancestors?
Well, they doing that anyway.
In St. Michael's, you are a liar and you are a potato slave. Roxy Rocker is Black American and her father is Afro Bohemian. You're a liar and you're a potato slave. Yes, you are.
They get everything. Don't you know everybody get everything before we do anyway?
Right. So why would you want to keep a name that lets everybody eat off of us unjustly? Why would you want that?
Okay, but don't you know in the courts right now, that name they gave us, African American, is in all the books. The Negroes used to be there, and they changed that to African Americans. So don't you think that it'll be a problem right now if those names would change when reparation come up? They're gonna say, "Who in the hell is Foundation Black Americans?"
That's exactly what we want them to say.
Yeah,
Because that's who's supposed to get it.
That's who's supposed to get it.
Yeah. Who else is
Okay.
supposed to get reparations?
As far as they concerned, the African Americans are one that they enslaved and Jim Crowed and went through the civil rights and all that kind of stuff.
All right. So if they use African American, that's going to include people who just got here, who don't have a lineage here. Do you want them to get reparations too?
No, I agree with that. But
All
I'm
right.
just saying,
So we have to have language that's very specific, right?
yeah, but Foundation of Black Americans do not have the language when you come to the Congress and the Senate. They don't
you
have that
do.
language.
Yes, you do.
Look, on my birth certificate, I got Negro.
Right.
So I know for a fact, if they gave out reparation to anybody, I'll be included.
Okay. Because you would have to trace your lineage back to the foundation of the country, to the beginning of this country. That
Sure.
makes
Lenny Kravitz's mother is Black American and Afro Bohemian. She is half Caribbean, but her mother is from Georgia. Her mother, Lenny Kravitz's grandmother, is from Georgia. You're a fucking liar. And I'm gonna say this, St. Michael's, you give white people who try to solve this problem a bad note, man. And I have to say that. You're a liar. You know, this is I'm gonna say this. You really give that stereotype, you really bring that stereotype back, and you push Irish people back another 200, 300 years when they used to call Irish people drunks and liars and they're scammers and they're rats. Yes. Yes, you make Irish people look very, very bad. I have to say that. You got that. Y'all had. Let me tell y'all something. This is how bad. This is how degenerate your fucking culture is, and I have to say it. And I don't want to talk about it because I do like Irish people. I like the corned beef hash, even though somebody told me that's not Irish. But Waddy Boja, y'all had this nigga running around for 50 years. This rat ass, punk ass, bitch ass fucking potato slave running around here who ratted on everybody, ratted on the Italians, sold niggas out, was an informant, just running around here willy-nilly free on the watch list for 50 years. And when the nigga get caught, he was snitching again. He was ratting again. He pushed y'all niggas back 80 years. But what you just did, you just pushed the Irish back to when they got over here from Ellis Island, nigga. When y'all know, before This was before Ellis Island when y'all came over here and them white British niggas was just busting y'all niggas in the head with fucking potatoes and y'all niggas didn't even fight back. I'm talking about the first Irish. Yeah, somebody told me that. Yeah, somebody just told me that, Breeze Omega. That's why I said, yeah, it's not Irish. See, I gotta take the corned beef hash from y'all niggas. Y'all just got them dry ass potatoes, my nigga. I don't know anything that's Irish that's good now. There's some cute Irish girl. I had this little thick little Irish girl, little chubby little Irish girl. She was finer than a motherfucker, you know. She fucked around. Yeah, she fucked around with a real nigga and married a. I got her into loving black men. She fucked around, didn't know the difference, and married an African. Now she eating bushmeat, hush puppies, and everything now. I know she'd probably say, I know this ain't Rochelin's culture, man. And I have to tell her that's not my culture, man. We don't eat we don't eat cheetah hush puppies over here and bush baby burgers and shit. But yeah, man, she fucked around, married an African from England. Irish cream coffee is excellent. I never had Irish cream coffee. You know, make me try it though. You know what I do like Irish? The Irish donuts that they be making at Dunkin' Donuts on St. Patrick's Day with the cream filling inside. Yeah, I like those joints. Yeah. Well, yeah, them Irish people. Yeah, I'll go to your country any day just to go eat them Irish cream donuts and stuff. Yeah, they got the green filling on them with the little leprechaun joints and stuff. Yeah, man. You only get that once in Massachusetts. What was it? You get that for like 3 weeks in Massachusetts, man. I used to go there, buy like 4 or 5 of them and stuff like that. You know, niggas out here getting busy. You know, yeah. But let's get.
That makes you, by logic, a foundational Black American. So what's your argument?
My argument is, how old is that name? See, they gonna go by names. You just can't bring a name up and
Yes, you
expect
can.
something to happen. That's
Yes,
what
you
Jesse
can.
Jackson did. Jesse
Yeah.
Jackson did the same thing to us back in the 70s or the
Right,
80s.
and they changed everything overnight.
Yeah,
Right?
but it also threw us out of everything.
But hey, you all over the place. So you're saying you threw us out of everything, but now but then you co-signing the word African American. So which one is it?
Well, for me, I want us, you know,
Where?
for me,
Hold on, brother. Where's
yeah,
your family from?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee,
Okay.
and
Where's
that's where
your
all that's the original everything in Memphis.
Memphis, Tennessee? Right.
Yes, yes,
Okay. For how many generations?
all of them.
Where's your
Day
wife
one.
from? Where's your wife from?
My wife is from Memphis also. She's she's from there too. I met her, and we moved to Texas now.
Okay. That ain't your wife in that picture.
That's my wife, dude.
No, it's not. No, it's not,
Well,
brother.
let me let you speak to her right here.
All right, let me talk to her.
Okay, it's me. It's me.
That's you
Yes, yes, sir, it is. It is.
with this Negro. That's you. You look
So,
that.
wait a minute now. Don't call my husband no Negro.
Oh, I'm trying to see what's
Yeah,
happening. Where you from?
Been married 30 years, sir.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
okay? Hold on now. You don't. That means that you're in your 50s.
Yes, sir.
Is that a filter?
No, sir. That is a picture of me with no filter.
Look here, Tariq. That ain't no filter. I'm right here with her every night. That's for
Both
real.
of y'all get y'all asses on camera. Let me look at both of y'all. Let me see what both y'all look like. It sounds like y'all in there wearing dashikis and kufis and shit. What the hell is he talking about? I want to see something ain't right. Man, talking about y'all in Memphis and Texas. Y'all eating some barbecued bush meat or some shit. Where y'all from?
Hell no. We don't eat no damn bush meat. Hell no.
Lord.
No. No, but
Shout out
that's
to
all.
y'all.
We just had a question about, because we hadn't heard about, the FBA, and I've been hearing it on TikTok. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so, what is this FBA? And so when I looked it up, I found out, I did a little research and I saw your name. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, so let me just, see what this all about.
Hey, yo, Black Snow Bunny King, let me ask you a question. Where are you from? Like, what state are you at right now? I'm asking you the question. Can you answer the question? If you don't want to answer the question, just say, yo, I don't want to answer the question. You know? Tell me you don't want to answer this question.
Out,
Mhm.
So basically, we was trying to figure out, where it came from, because I was like, okay, did this come from a college? Because they pretty much uh in colleges study us. They've been studying us forever, right?
Mhm.
So that's what they do. So I was
Yeah.
like, did it come from a college, or like, where did
No.
it come from? And so when I looked it up, I saw your name and I was like, okay. So I was just trying to figure out, what it meant, and where we going from, because it's going around TikTok like big time, like
It's going
everybody's saying
everywhere.
it.
Yes, it's the hottest topic on social media.
Right,
And
right.
also it's in government documents. We've proven that there's state documents, government documents, federal documents, medical documents of them using the term foundational Black American. Even Ryan Coogler, who did the movie Sinners, he went on a press tour and he was talking about how he has foundational Black American lineage. ABC News did a big international story talking about foundational Black American history. So it's a
That's strike two. Say that's strike two. Black Snow Bunny King. Again, what state are you in? Are you in like Florida? Are you in Massachusetts? Are you in New York? Are you in Nebraska? It seems like you're in like Idaho somewhere. Like you still calling people Black Americans African American. Like, why are you so triggered? This is why I have these shows, Black Snow Bunny King. Why are you so triggered of saying foundational Black American lineage? Like, why are you so scared of saying that? Is it because you can't tether off of it? Is it because that, like, as I told you, say Black Snow Bunny King, our victories aren't like the Haitians, like the 1804, where only people who gets credit is the Haitians. Our victories inspired the Black diaspora. Like, why are you so against foundational Black Americans? We're getting delineation so we can get reparations and policies and laws. This is why we do that. And now you could go back into your country and do the same thing that we are doing. We're giving you the fucking blueprint. You don't gotta pay nothing. But the thing is that you can't stay on you can't stay in your own lane and on point. This is why people want to delineate from your culture, from your lineage, from your people. This is why people want to delineate from that shit, because you can't stay on code. Like, and it's bad. Like, it's so bad. Like, I'm gonna say this: 154 or Africa 154. I don't look at it as a podcast. I look at it as a COINTELPRO infiltration, because everything that foundational Black Americans is trying to do, the Africa 154 is trying to make us take 6 steps back. They're trying to make us take 6 steps back. Why the fuck? We're trying to delineate from y'all so we can get what we need, because y'all can't stay on code. Collectively, y'all can't police your own people. Y'all okay with your people doing dirt and making others look bad. We're not okay with that. We have never been okay with that. So why are y'all so triggered? We're giving y'all, it's so, like, again, I said it. Why are y'all so triggered if you were getting the blueprint on how to get reparations in your country, Black Snow Bunny King? They've been drinking hater. He said they've been drinking haterade. Bronze is once again a liar. Laugh out loud. The only coat on. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. That 154 is a COINTELPRO. It has to be. Everything, everything they do, they talk about Black Americans. What's that? Cheese and eggs and grits, cheese and grits, whatever the shit that is. With the Dante nigga, you know, the half yellow nigga, the high yellow nigga, him. Everything Black Americans is trying to do, he bring us back to fucking Pan-Africanism that failed us in the first place. He talked about Black Americans taking a morally road, nigga. Say that shit with fucking not Al Sharpton and dead ass fucking Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson is dead, and that African American shit died with him. The African American movement died before Jesse Jackson. I'm being personally honest. Every time Black Americans is doing something good, foundational Black Americans is doing something good. We got you high yellow niggas. We got these Black diaspora kufi hat wearing niggas always wanting to say, oh, look at they trying to infiltrate the nigga. We saving the fucking community. While y'all brought y'all fucking failed ass from y'all wherever the fuck y'all came from to our community. Y'all had to come to our community. You know why? Because they didn't want y'all in their community. Nobody wanted y'all in the community. But there go Black Americans being inclusive again. Hey, yo, come into our community. It's all right, man. Yo, we're about to have a cookout. Come on to our cookout. And in the back, yo, in the smoke screens, y'all talking shit about us. Y'all out here backdooring us. Come on, let's be honest about it. Now, let me ask you a question. Godfrey, even right now, I'm still like, I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Godfrey. Again, Godfrey. Thanks, Randall. Shout out to Randall for the jewels. Shout out to you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But again, Godfrey, he gets mad when people are telling him like, yo, you're fucking up. You're not staying on code right now. And this is why I told Godfrey that Arbok guy is holding him back. Godfrey can have a good fucking show, but you know what Godfrey is missing? A Black American host. Godfrey's missing a Black American host because at the end of the day, we already got the Nigerian shit from Godfrey. We don't need another Nigerian dude trying to tell us about Black Americans. If they're really trying to break them boundaries with Blacks and Africans or the Black diaspora, they should have had a Black American host or a foundational Black American host. No Pan-African, no none of that. A Black American that knows what a foundational Black American is. Why didn't he had that? That's the question you have to ask. Give me a second. That's the question why he ain't asking. Did an African backdoor Madden Luther King? You mean Martin Luther King? I will say this, Saint Mike, Black Snow Bunny King. I heard there was a Kenyan confidential informant in the Martin Luther King circle. I did hear that. There was an informant in the Black Panther Party, and the guy was Chinese. Yeah. So it's the Malcolm X thing is a little bit difficult because, yeah, that was the FBI, you know, because you got to understand what that is. Again, if a white man would have killed Malcolm X, it would have been worse than what happened with Martin Luther King. You know, because they were assassinated. Yeah, all three of them were assassinated, you know. I had to, cause what's his name? Bias Runs told me about those words. He said, yeah, you can't say murder because some people will take it wrong. They were assassinated. Yes, they were assassinated. They were public figures. They were global figures, actually. If we want to really be honest, they were global figures. To this day, a lot of these people still use uh, Malcolm X and MLK's words. Even though I can push back on MLK, I'm not a big fan of MLK, but he did help to a certain extent. He started getting radicalized at the end before he passed away. An African and a Caribbean don't backdoor. No, I didn't. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I didn't say they backdoor. I said they they were informants. There was a Kenyan informant I heard in the MLK circle. That's what I heard. I said the Malcolm X, that was more of the government. Malcolm X was being too big for one person. He had too much power for one person. When he left the Nation of Islam, he still had a big follower. Pan-Africanism work and saves Ashanti Shakur. No, Black Americans saved. And we can also give credit to Cuba. And I could say that, but I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, it was Pan-Africanism. No, I'm going to say it was Cubans and Black Americans. Who broke her out of jail? Was it Pan-Africans or was it Black Americans? And don't lie, don't forget you're on your second strike. Was it Black Americans or was it Pan-Africans that broke her out of prison? That got her safe. It wasn't Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism was infiltrating the Black Panther Party. The Pan-African movement was created by a white man, by a white racist man. Then it rebirthed in the 60s. Like, come on, like we can talk about it, but we're not gonna sit here and act like that shit's not true. Like, be honest about it, St. Michael. I mean, Black Snow Bunny King. Yeah. But Black Snow Bunny King, you don't know where she hid out at. You don't know where she was hiding out at. It was all Black Americans. Black Snow Bunny King, because that's how we protect our people. Let's talk about your country, Jamaica. Your Jamaicans don't protect your leaders. Like, for example, you're probably a Garvey Knight. Why did Marcus Garvey get chased out of Jamaica? Was it the government or was it the Jamaicans that chased him out? Let's see if he's gonna be honest. He said Black Soul. Shout out to Rando.
The term is a very common term now and it's becoming more popularized. And all it means is that people who come from the lineage of the people who are the foundation of this country, people who have a non-immigrant lineage, and if you're Black. And that's all it is. Literally, that's all it is.
Okay, because I like it. I wish we had it before we was called African American.
Right.
I wish we had it then,
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
think it's a good thing. I really do.
Yes, ma'am. You and your hubby got kids? Y'all got kids?
Yeah. We have 3 kids.
Oh, good.
What's
good.
going on,
beloved? I
Convo?
appreciate
Shout out
y'all.
to
Thank
you.
y'all so much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. She sound cool. Okay. Now she sound cool. I don't know why he was plebiscite babbling. I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? She sound like she got some sense. I don't know what he was talking about. Lord. Let me speak to the wife. Sound like I don't know what he was talking about. The brother was confused. I don't know what he was confused about. But they were all right. Man. But yeah, that's the great thing about Foundational Black American, man. That's the great thing about it, family. That's why it's so powerful right now. See, a lot of people are used to things coming from the top.
And everybody, we got him, everybody. Black's nobody just, he just spazzed the fuck out. He's spazzing the fuck out right now. This is the trigger that I'm talking about. Why are these people triggered about foundational Black Americans? Why are you so triggered, Black Snow Bunny King? Why are you so triggered? Huh? Why are you so triggered? I want to know why. Why does this trigger you? Oh yeah, I heard Randall, yeah, man, that nigga's out. Yo, Sean Grayson's taking a dirt nap right now. Yeah. That nigga kicked the bucket. Yeah. I think somebody offed him or he offed himself. That's what I think happened.
They're used to something coming out of a college, something coming out of a think tank. You see, and that scares a lot of non-FBAs, by the way. See, Foundational Black American and this renaissance that we're having a Foundational Black American renaissance. That's a bottoms up ethnic awakening. See, a lot of people are used to Black political energy being filtered through the boule gatekeepers, preachers, nonprofits, Democrat parties, media approved spokespersons, immigrant advocacy groups, colleges. That's why she asks, is it coming from a college? How is this thing so big? No, it's major because it came literally from the grassroots. It came from the soil. So this delineation movement, it just broke the whole mode for all of these identities out here. And it's not dependent on a single organization. It's not dependent on a payroll. It's not dependent on an institution. It's not dependent on a leader. So this delineation movement, it spread because ordinary people just independently came to the same conclusion. Lineage matters. History matters. That's it. Everybody just got on code. And that makes it powerful. And that scares a lot of people because it's
Hey, he fucked up. He fucked around and found out. We can't really be mad, It's he just nigga went buck wild and shot a black woman. Like a lot of people be thinking they're gonna get off because they got that bad. I'm telling you, a lot of people are paying money for these people to go to jail now. Yes. Like, let me ask y'all a question. You don't think if they paid Texas government, Carmelo Anthony wouldn't be out within the next 2 years? Money talks, man. That's why a lot of these folks hasn't went to jail. This is why a lot of people get out. Like I was just talking about the Jesse Mack thing. This man out here violated 2 girls. One had to get surgery. The other one had a black eye and all this other shit. The mama infiltrated. The mother was a ringleader on that shit. She had to be. She told him, don't say anything. Yada, yada, yada. We'll get our lawyer. Like, they didn't run down on him and like threw him on the floor. They handled that nigga with kitty gloves. And he just violated 2 women. 2 underage girls. One was 15 and 16, I believe. So yeah. Any other father would have popped a hole in that motherfucker. But they let they let that man go. Yeah, they messing with the program up, being rogue. Yeah. Yeah, And let me tell you something. He was probably already doing that shit before, and the shit just caught up with him. The bullshit caught up with him.
Too powerful, and nobody can really control it. So now what a lot of Tethers and Alphabet agencies try to do is denigrate it, to try to remix it, but you can't do that. You can't do that. Because, this is a decentralized consciousness. So you can attack a person, you can smear an organization, but you can't stop a shared realization of a lineage.
Facts.
And that realization has taken root among millions of foundational Black Americans. See, that's something you can't control. And that's the scary thing. I want y'all to understand. Why are people so nervous about us recognizing and acknowledging our lineage? Yes, a frequency, because we are 45 million deep. Some people say 49 million. That's what I'm thinking. Foundational Black Americans, we're around 49 million deep. And 49 million people on code with each other? The dominant society don't like that. You understand? The dominant society don't like that at all. Yeah, you can't stop a realization. See, that's the thing. All you're doing is realizing that your lineage is unique because it goes to the beginning of this country. No other group can say that. That's unique. That's a realization. That's why Tethers are always trying to stop us from realizing that. No, nigga, you are African, nigga. You're Igbo. You look like an Igbo in your face, nigga. No, sir, I'm not an Igbo. My lineage goes to the beginning of this country. You are still African, nigga. No, Titi Tunde, I'm not, sir. I'm not a continental African. I have African genetics, like many people do. But I am of the lineage here. I have a unique lineage that's different from you. You just had Africa, nigga. It's all that gaslighting bullshit. Yeah, that's not going to stop me from recognizing my unique lineage here. We're not going to stop doing that because you get uncomfortable as a foreigner. We're not immigrants.
Facts.
Shit. We're just not. We're not going to sit here and pretend to be to make you feel better. We have a very unique lineage, and it's not confusing at all. It's not confusing. It's not confusing whatsoever. Ain't nobody confused. People are just playing dumb because they're frustrated because now we've drawn lines and boundaries around the lineage. So yeah, that's what that's about. All right. Man, yeah, we are not immigrants. Our lineage built this country. All right. Oh, who is this? Okay, let's get some folks in here. So,
like the foreign if they don't agree with you.
Well, yeah. No. What'd you say? You said what has come out of what?
Yeah, like what's the point of jacking FBA if we like not even building?
Who's not building?
Well, you're clearly foreign.
Exactly. See, that's the problem. Everybody's a foreign if they don't agree with you.
No, sir. We hear your accent. It's not that you
Right.
But no, stop that.
I'm
sir.
not even gonna argue with y'all, bro. Like
We're not arguing, sir.
You
You're
got
not
it,
gonna
bro.
troll.
You
You're
got
not
it.
gonna troll. But why are you upset? We're having an intervention. Why are you upset?
I miss the old Tariq Nasheed.
Okay. Well, nigga, you sound like Jennifer Hudson, nigga. What kind of
All good,
dream
brother.
girl? What kind of dream
Family,
girl shit is
family.
this? What the hell is that?
Family.
I miss the old you. Yeah, no, you want somebody to come play with your bussy. We don't want to do that, sir.
This is
Why are you okay?
This
Now
is
you whining, sir. Why are you whining, little old sassy thing? Now let's stop all that. Stop trying to troll your way out of it. Why are you upset? You're upset because now you got to stand on your own lineage? What are you upset about? Let's have an intervention. All right. Let me hold your little I'm holding your hands virtually. I'm talking to you. All right. I'm holding your little Igusi stained hands. Let's talk. Why are you so upset with us delineating? Let's stop all the fake trolling and let's get to some interventions here. All right. Now, why are you upset? Let's talk about it. Huh?
Upset is crazy, but yeah, if you think I'm upset, that's a great interpretation. I just
Now,
missed the old Tariq.
now, why are you upset?
I feel like Black America was doing way better in 2020 in terms of like getting enlightened and waking up, and now niggas is just beefing on internet.
We were doing better in 2020. How so?
A lot of people was waking up and like, yo, we're not falling for this system no more.
Waking up? Well, we're woke now. We're very woke now. We're more woke than ever. Right?
You think the whole world's global consciousness is risen because of FBA?
They said this Rohan. Is this Rohan? Is this you, Rohan? Okay, if this is Rohan, let me get
Who
him
the
out
fuck
here.
is Rohan?
Okay, I'm getting this little wide, bussy refugee up out of here. All right? I'm getting him out of here. Because he's a fleeing punk. He just like to talk to men. All right? Was that Rohan? Yeah, I'm going to get that little sassy punk up out of here. No, I ain't talking to you. That's why he's saying a little moist shit. I miss the old Tyreek. Nigga, that's what your woman say. I miss the old you. You used to give me flowers. You used to love me. Well, nigga, get the hell out of here. Calling up, telling me you miss the old version of some dude. The hell is that? Nigga, I'm not here to bring you flowers. I miss the old you. You used to look at my eyes. We used to go on dates. We don't date no more. Get the hell out of here, nigga. Fantasizing. This nigga acting like a musty Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls. And I'm telling you, I'm not going. Nigga singing me a damn trauma song. The hell? That's what we delineate from your weird tethers. Calling up here with that hostile energy, talking about you miss the old me. I ain't your man, nigga. Get the hell out of here. Musty punk. Well, let me see who else we got. Who is this? Black Queen? Black Queen. Somebody named Black Queen tried to get on. All right, Black Queen wasn't. I don't know what happened. Miss Black Queen didn't get on. All right, let me see who else we got. Let me see. Y'all raise those hands. Let me see. Let's Daddy Dada. Let's get Daddy Dada. Daddy Dada in the building. And shout out to everybody in here. We are deep. All right. Daddy Dada.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good, man. I just want to give you your props, man.
Yes,
You've
sir.
been putting it down for a long time, and we listen to you at my barbershop, and we like the work that you do, man. I just wanted to give you your props.
Oh, man. Respect to y'all, man. And respect to the staff. Shout out to the barbershop. Shout out to the barbershop out there. All right. Respect to those brothers. All right. Let's see who we got. Who is this? TJ Realty. Let me see who we got. What's up, TJ Realty?
Hey, Tariq, I'm glad to see you, catching up with you. I'm outside the country, but I'm Black American on both sides, chattel slavery.
Yes,
I got
ma'am.
on here for two reasons, because I know you spoke about it, but I don't think that we know the significance of the Ghanaian president, the resolution that was drafted between them, CARICOM, which is the Caribbean, and they went and got the sign off on the Congressional Black Caucus. And if you look at that resolution, it basically just calls us African.
Yeah.
It flatly calls us African, and they did that without our permission. That's why
Right.
I understand the delineation and what you're doing, and I feel like we're not delineating formally. And that's why I came up, because Tariq, you have the reach, you have the influence and visibility. Where is the steps for us to get political representation? We are being stepped all over, and everybody is using us to get where they have to go. even with reparations, when you see that the whole world now is asking for reparations, we also see in California, I don't know if y'all saw, they recently voted down the population, voted down taking slavery out of the state constitution. There is an all-out war on us, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, ADOS, Solon. There's an all-out war on us, and I feel like we have no political representation. And that is a problem for our community. And another thing is, I feel like we all need to go independent. We need to go independent en masse, and we need to force both sides to work for an agenda that we lay out, which is something about agenda of some type of protections for our lineage, because our lineage is being pilferaged from every which direction.
Yes, ma'am. Now, where are you right now, by the way? You out of the country? Where are you, dear?
Yeah, I'm in Europe right now. And that was another thing I wanted to say. You know how the Immigrants Act with entitlement, the ones that that have representation, House representation, asking for reparations for ICE treatment. When you go to other countries, no immigrants comes to other countries demanding and being entitled and talking down to local people, telling them that they're lazy, they're not doing it. Only in the United States of America are immigrants able to go get in the political system, talk down on the locals, and make demands, financial demands. We have to go independent and reconcile this problem.
Yes, ma'am. So listen, and thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much. Listen, so we got to get the words right, the language right. We do have people within the political arena who understands lineage. So yes, we as foundational Black Americans and understand foundational Black American is a lineage. See, this is why we got to watch words and language. She said ADOS and FBA, so you got to. This is why we got to watch certain things. See, ADOS, that's more of a political label. ADOS and foundational Black American, let's get the wording right. That's not the same thing. FBA is a lineage movement. It's lineage. Straight up lineage. ADOS, they structured that as a policy-driven political campaign. Foundational Black Americans is just cultural delineation, all right? ADOS is centralized. They have self-proclaimed leaders, all right? That's what kind of turned a lot of people off. Foundational Black American, there is no leader. No matter if people lie about me being the leader all the time, that's called lying.
Black
I
Snow Bunny
never claim to be a leader. You cannot be a leader of some shit you ain't claiming. There is no organization
Black Snow Bunny King.
called Foundational Black Americans. If anybody says something about a group or an organization, they just made some shit up. There is no organization called Foundational Black American. There is no leader. I'm not at all. There is no leader. Let's be very clear. See, ADOS, they tell anybody who listen they're the leaders of ADOS. Foundational Black Americans, that's a leaderless, grassroots, collective consciousness. Let me say that one more time. FBA is a leaderless, grassroots, collective consciousness about lineage. The leaderless nature of it is very key because foundational Black Americans, you can't dismantle foundational Black Americans by attacking a single figure or an organization because it doesn't exist. That's what makes it powerful. That's why ADOS fell off. Don't nobody use ADOS no more. ADOS completely fell off. ADOS was talking about policies, and basically they started acting as Democrat shills, and people got turned off by it.
Yep.
FBA, lineage only. And the Democrats
That was a good one, everybody. I'm not gonna play all of it, but that one was right there was good because it explained what foundational meant. The whole foundational Black American meant. Now Black Snow Bunny King, you know what foundational Black American means. He gave you the definition. I put 2 videos on for you to give you the definition. And you can't call it an organization. You can't call it a code. He answers everybody's questions, unlike what you do. You don't answer questions. But let's get into the next one.
Another disrespectful African immigrant talking crazy about foundational Black Americans. Check it out.
I gonna lie, God did his big one making sure that I was part of an actual culture. Like, it's just a good feeling when somebody asks you where you're from. You're able to say any other country just in America itself. Like, somebody can ask you where you're from, and you could probably say, yeah, I'm Guyanese, or I'm African, or I'm Jamaican. You could go start talking about the culture, then the food, they talk about the dancing, they talk about the clothes. It just hits different when you can show and say that you're part of an actual culture. Don't get me wrong. Nothing is wrong about being from America, but it's just boring. Like, to say, hey, yeah, I'm from America. Like, there's no vim, there's no energy, there's no excitement with it. Like, what language do you speak? Oh, we speak English. It just sounds, ugh. But to say that you're African, or to say that you're Ghanaian or Nigerian, to say that you're Jamaican, like, have you ever seen 2 Jamaicans meet? Like, one more player from Jamaica? Like, it's just, the energy is just there. Like, the energy is just there. But when 2 Americans meet, it's like, oh, you're American, oh, American too, what state? It's like, But when 2 Nigerians meet, oh, you're from Igbo, like, you're about, like, the energy is just there. The village is just there. You start smiling, you start talking about the places back home, you start talking about the culture, you start talking about the food, like, everything just hits different when you're part of a culture. Like, God did this big one making sure that I was Ghanaian. I'm African. I'm Ghanaian. So God did this big one making sure that I was part of a culture. Like, once again, don't get me wrong, being American is cool. I'm blessed to be from this country. I'm blessed to be born in this country. But it just hits different when I'm able to see somebody else as African and I can relate to them. It's like being in your own world. It's like being in your own entity, your own space. You speak your specific language, different foods, different clothes, different cultures.
That don't make no sense. If you're from America, how can you relate from somebody from fucking Africa? That's why I be saying a lot of these people be saying anything. Instead of, pimping game, and I'm gonna say this, instead of the Black diaspora pimping game and like getting knowledge from Black Americans, because don't forget, we have done this longer than anybody. We got busy longer than anybody. So what can they tell us? Y'all niggas signed treaties. We never signed a treaty. The red natives signed a treaty. Black natives, black Americans, African slaves, whatever y'all want to call it, we never signed no treaty. We got busy out here.
Different practices, like, everything is just like, in real life feels like.
So this sounds like an emotional rant to me. Like, maybe he probably heard somebody say something that pissed him off, so he decided to make a video that was kind of throwing shade at Americans, probably really Black Americans, but without actually saying that. So, because I think it's pretty obvious. But my thing is this: so whenever I hear people say stuff like this, I just be thinking to myself, but you're here though. Like, you're like, you talk about how it's boring, there's no culture, there's no language, and whatever, however you feel, who cares, whatever. But you're here. Like, your peoples chose this country to immigrate to. All of those other countries that you were talking about, you could pick up and immigrate to one of those places. I mean, nobody's stopping you. If you want to experience culture in the way that you see culture, then you could very much do that. I mean, you don't have to be here. It's like people think that they throwing shade at us when they say stuff like that, and we just be looking at them like, but you're here. And my thing is, with people who keep saying that foundational Black Americans are so divisive and we're the ones who are starting all of this shit, do y'all just not see these videos at all? These videos just don't come up on your FYP? Or are you too busy in their comment section agreeing with them? Because I went through the comment section and most of people who are not American were agreeing with what he's saying, but yet we're the ones who are xenophobic and divisive. That's interesting. So is it really that America doesn't have any culture? Or is it that you really just don't like Americans, but you don't really want to say that because you kind of look a little bit stupid, seeing as that you're choosing to live here?
Lettucey sung the national black anthem. John Batiste sung the national anthem. Kendrick Lamar, K-Dot, performed at the halftime show with all black dancers who were dressed in red, white, and blue. They formed themselves into the American.
And I want to say this, all right? Since you want to talk about the K-Dot thing, who was the one that fucked it up for the black culture? A fucking immigrant. A black immigrant fucked it up, running in there with a fucking Palestine flag. Made it not when Black Americans, it was a Black American Day for Black Americans to get busy out here. Here comes the fucking black diaspora with the Save Palestine flag, Free Palestine. Nigga, that ain't got nothing to do with us. We talking about black culture over here. We're talking about black institutions over here. We don't want to hear that other bullshit.
Flag and sent multiple messages throughout the entire performance about what it means to be black in America. And there were other messages weaved throughout the performance that I'm still breaking down. Samuel L. Jackson narrated the entire thing dressed as Uncle Sam. Serena Williams made an appearance and danced. My wife SZA performed. The revolution was televised. The revolution was televised, and it was televised on one of the largest stages ever.
Black Americans, lock in. This is serious. Give yourself a second. You ready? Fried catfish, spaghetti, corn on the cob, Hawaiian roll, banana pudding. That's the left side. Right side, blackened salmon, red beans and rice, / red rice, depending on your region, collard greens, cornbread, yellow cake, chocolate icing. Right side. Make your decision. Again, I say this is serious.
I done a lot. God did this big one, making sure that I was part of an actual culture. Like, it's just a good feeling when somebody asks you where you're from, and you're able to say any other country just than America itself. Like, somebody can ask you where you're from, and you could probably say, yeah, I'm Guyanese, or I'm African, or I'm Jamaican. They could go to start talking about the culture, then the food, they talk about the dancing, they talk about the clothes. It just hits different when you could show and say that you're part of an actual culture.
Saying all that while living in America is crazy. It's also crazy that you said God did his big one. Did his big one? Isn't that BAVE, Black American Vernacular English? I don't believe that comes from your culture. I believe that is Black American culture, is it not? Ebonics is Black American culture, right? Even then, I don't believe you know where you come from. You say Ghana, but I don't think you can trace your ancestors or trace your lineage. Let's go lineage for lineage, ancestor for ancestor, paperwork for paperwork, document for document. Let me see your census records. I'll show you mine. Let's see birth records, death records, military records. I don't believe you can do that. And if you can't do that, you don't know where you're from. However, Black Americans can do that. We can prove who we come from and where we come from. Thus, we can also prove our culture. Because y'all told us oral history don't count. So, fuck all y'all oral history. That's for everybody. Let's go paperwork for paperwork. Let's have a paperwork party. And I'm not talking about the prison style. I'm just talking about proving your lineage.
And so, like, all the Black Americans out there, please do not let these people tell you don't have no damn culture. Not only do you have a culture, you are the culture, my love. You're the culture. They tell you this so, number one, they can benefit from your culture. And number two, they don't have to credit you for benefiting from your culture. Please do not let them brainwash you and tell you ain't got no damn culture, babe. You know, who the f*** everybody be stealing from?
And when a Black person says that we're the blueprint, we're not saying that we've made everything. What are the two most popular song categories to this day? Rap, pop. Who are those made by? black people. What are some popular fashion choices that people are making right now? Baggy pants, big shirt, chains, grills, Jordans. Those were all inspired by black people. What about some slang? What's some slang that we're using right now? Is it popular terms from AV and Ebonics? You know those come from black people too, right? Just because they're gentrified does not mean that it stops coming from black people. So no, we're not arguing whether we've made the toaster oven or not. We're talking about the fact that y'all include black-inspired things in your everyday life, for the most part. Even down to the initial purpose of this app. Who began dancing before all this shit? Black people. Black people were making dancing videos, and white people were copying them and becoming famous off it. And you know who I'm talking about. I could be talking about a lot of different people, but there's a main one that you know that I'm talking about. For the last, decade and a half, black has been the standard. So I don't know why people are so against black people saying that we're the blueprint, when socially, we are, and have been for a while.
But I gonna lie, God did his big one making sure that I was part of an actual culture. Like, it's just a good feeling when somebody asks you where you from, they're able to say any other country just in America itself. Like, somebody can ask you where you're from, and you could probably say, yeah, I'm Guyanese, or I'm African, or I'm Jamaican. They could also start talking about the culture, then the food, they talk about the dancing, they talk about the clothes. It just hits different when you can show and say that you're part of an actual culture. You know, don't get me wrong, nothing is wrong about being from America, but it's just boring. Like, just...
Then why you out here checking for black Americans? Making all that noise while speaking English with a black American aesthetic is diabolical. None of us want to be from Africa. None of us want to flex being from Africa. We can care less. But you know what is emulated everywhere? Black American aesthetic, black American culture, right? Our culture is one of the most emulated cultures in the entire world. You go almost anywhere on the planet and you will find some form of black American culture. Even in China, they emulate black American culture. Even in Africa, they imitate black American hip hop culture. But the thing is, our culture is so emulated and copied that y'all actually think y'all have some kind of right to it. That it's a natural thing the way y'all talk, walk, and act. That y'all just copying some cool aesthetic. No, you're copying black American culture.
There is a major cultural wake-up call happening right now, and it is especially important for African, Latin American, Caribbean, and other immigrants who come to the United States believing that they already understand what Black American culture is. For decades, people around the world have studied, admired, adopted, remixed, and exported elements of Black American.
There you go. I think he said the right thing. A lot of the black diaspora, they exploited black American culture. That's all it is exploitation, man. And I think this is why they get triggered off of it, because they can't exploit it as much as they used to. You know, let's finish off strong with this 6-minute video.
Ask immigrants what's your problem with FBA. What is their problem with FBA? Because I'm sure there's no immigrant on stage strong enough or knowledgeable enough to even answer that question. It's a wonderful question. What is their problem? Their problem is just simply not us. They want to attach themselves to something great because they're not attaching themselves to Guatemalans, Brazilians, Hondurans, all those diasporan Africans all over the planet. They're not attaching themselves to them. Although they may have a rich history and, great things that they've done, they haven't attached themselves to them. Why? Why, you ask? Because nobody's checking for Hondurans. Nobody's checking for Guatemalans. Nobody's checking for the Brazilian. But you know who they're checking for? They're checking for Black Americans. Why? Because we move the needle. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are, what we stand for. That's us, baby. The thing is, man, we got to walk in our glory. We got to walk in our light. And when the light is shining bright on us, it dims on them. And they can't see except to see a glorious people who came up from nowhere and started shit from nowhere, right? According to them. And, they're just upset. It's hate. That's all that shit it really is. It's a lot of hate and a lot of jealousy and a lot of pent up anger at the fact that they can't accomplish what we have accomplished. A small minority of people on the planet, or 50 million, accomplished so much global rich history with us that some of you can't even turn on the lights that we made. some of y'all operating computers that we gave you the possibility to be on an app like this and talk to us. That's a Black American woman. But y'all don't want to recognize that because greatness comes short with third world brain people like y'all. But I land my plane with that.
Hold on, honey. What's your ethnicity for the room?
I am just an American Indian by blood.
Okay.
I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, originally from Chicago.
Okay.
And I'm gonna read the prompt real quick. I'm gonna respond to what Greg said earlier. Black American asked the immigrant, what is the problem with FBA? The brother summing up everything up. This is what I come to conclusion. We are not, I'm gonna say this again clearly, we are not losers. We are achievers all over the world. We can achieve anything when it comes to the mind and the heart. That's it. They cannot operate the way we operate because our DNA works different from theirs. They cannot, I'm going to repeat it again, they cannot outdo us with any synchronicity of doing things in life. They can't touch us. Not like ATM, you can't touch it. It's the same scenario. They can't touch us. And this is why they jealous. I could say a lot of things, I ain't gonna get too much into that. I'm trying to keep it clean. To what they
My Grammy's from Selma, Alabama. There ain't nothing wrong with that. So it's. I was just talking to my Grammy too, man. I love her. I love her to death. That lady, she's the sweetest thing in the world. Sometimes I be thinking that she talks more shit than I do. I just do. Yeah, I really think my Grammy talk more shit than I do. And shout out to my Grammy. My Grammy be out here getting busy. She 87 years old, still kicking and pushing. I always tell people all the time, I was like, yo, my Grammy, I learned out of no philosopher, out of people in my life, the two people I learned more from was my uncle Mark, and my Grammy. My grandmama on my mama's side. I know I don't got a good relationship with my mama, but I got a great relationship with my Grammy. She helped me out with everything. We're connected like this. I don't think I ever got in an argument with her. There was one time she did try to get me pushed back for my mama, and I had to tell her, I was like, yo, how long my mama gonna keep on doing what she doing? What was for detailed stream, stylistic and chat line, you can visit, enjoy your stream. Thank you, Kick Hex. I don't know what you're talking about, but all right, thank you. But yeah, it's my Grammy always been there. She's the sweetest little lady ever I met in my life. And I'm blessed to have the family that I have, even if she's from Selma, Alabama. I always tell people all the time I wouldn't change my life for nobody. I know I've been through a lot in my life, but just having the people that I have in my life, it's a blessing. Sometimes you don't have to have like millionaires and all this successful people in their life. It's just sometimes what's so blessing about certain things is that people who you love so much and dearly, they drop gems for you. So yeah, I think that's very good. But let's finish this. Let's finish strong,
trying to
everybody.
do is manipulate our DNA and put it inside of them.
And Black Snow Bunny King, before you start coming on this show, man, you gotta greet yourself, man. Stop acting like a degenerate, man. Come on, man. And you're very, like, again, I called you an ingrate today too. You gotta stop acting like a fucking ingrate. Greet yourself. Say, hey, what's up, Rosalind? Oh, what's up, Bronze? I'm pushing back right now. I'm about to push back on what you said, man. You can't be just, you can't do that Jamaican shit over here, man. I gotta be personally honest. That's that ingrate shit, that entitled shit. And this is not to the rude boy. This is for the Caribbean Europeans. You're a Caribbean European. You know, you got skin as a Caribbean, but mine as a European. So a Carib European, you know. We got the real riders, the rude boys, you know. Even though shit is fucked up, you know, they are riding for their country and stuff. Even if they're over here, they're still riding, they're still representing their country and shit like that, you know. And they're not stealing culture. They're using the dance hall, the soca, the calypso, you know, all of that. Calypso. I know it's calypso, but I call it calypso. I apologize. But yeah, it's just they're riding out for their culture and stuff like that, and they don't get mad at Black Americans, also known as foundational Black Americans, for standing 10 toes down of what they're doing. You know, so a shout out again to the Rude Boys, the Yachties. You know, even though I know some of y'all niggas don't like Black Americans, and it's okay. I'm just not a hater, nigga. I'm not a hating nigga. So yeah.
And they want to be the what you call it, superpower or world leader. That's what they want, but they can't have it. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm landing right here.
Pardon me. Um, Black American Chicago.
All right.
Um,
Would you like to address the prompt?
Black Americans, ex-immigrants. What is your problem with FBA? Uh, yeah, if I asked that question, I don't think I would get a sincere answer. Um, because they have different motivations. I think the people who come to America and go to work and try to send money home to help, and they truly have an interest, or wherever they come from, truly have an interest of bettering themselves. I do believe that. But these people have an attachment to financial gain, which is part of the reason why they're here. So some of those people with that attachment to financial gains can't see beyond their own interest. They can't see beyond their own interest. And if they don't see beyond their own interest, they definitely aren't going to see how that compromises Black Americans' interests. So if you attach yourself, and I'm not saying you're intentionally doing this, I don't know what your motivations are. I do believe there are people on a hierarchy with ulterior motivations that supersede basic laymen coming here trying to work. I believe there are a hierarchy of people setting up systemic agendas where having African attached to Black American is going to serve some political and economic agenda that would not benefit Black Americans.
Yep.
That's what I think.
I just wanted to play that all out, straight out. I want to say this. She is right. I'm gonna say this. This is the reason why there's a lot of fuss going on, you know. And shout out to all the foundational Black American podcasters and streamers. This is why I always give them their credit, and I'm always looking at FBA podcast and Pan African podcast and left, right, all of that. You know, it's just personally to me, it's just I want to, you know. I personally do want to solve the problem, but I know what the problem is. Everybody always want to be number one. That's what it is. The Black diaspora want to be number one. They don't want Black Americans to be number one, because don't forget, Black Americans is the face of Blackness. It's the face of Blackness. This is why you get a lot of anti-Black and saying that Black Americans don't have culture, even though they dress like us, even though they act like this. They want to cook and eat like, nigga, let's personally be honest. Haitian people, they make macaroni and cheese, but they make it Haitian macaroni and cheese. We just call it macaroni and cheese. You know, it's like, oh yeah, we eating some curry goat. That's like me saying I'm eating Black American curry goat. No, nigga, it's Jamaicans coined it and popularized curry goat. You know, that I know about, you know. So, and it's like, we can't get mad about shit like this. You know, it's just our time. Every time I always say this, whenever it's Black Americans' time, we always get so much fucking pushback. It's so much pushback that Black Americans is tired now and saying like, "Yo, fuck it, we're gonna give them this work today." We wish a nigga would try to disparage our culture. And this is what's, and I'm gonna say this. This is why a lot of this stuff is going on right now. A lot of people getting pushbacks. A lot of people are not understanding what's going on, and they feel attacked. Should you feel attacked? Yeah, you should feel attacked because at the end of the day, you was on that type of time. You was on that type of time. You know, so I'm gonna say this: y'all cause y'all own problems yourselves. So you know, you can't get mad at Black Americans on what they try to do. But I'm gonna give my thanks. I'm gonna start to give my thanks to the audience on YouTube. There's Bebe 2026. Shout out to you, darling. Shout out to Black Snow Bunny King, St. Michael's, Rando, Breeze Omega, Convo, Fresh Always. Thank everybody from Kick and X. I can't see who's on Kick and X who was on there. But thank y'all. I do appreciate it. And thank you for being on this show. I will see you Wednesday because we take Tuesdays off Wednesday, and I will see and you have the rest of the you have a great rest of the day. Thank you.